We are the real deal, bro. I'm showing it every day. Watch today. It's not my family. In your head, they are fighting with their tanks and their bombs and their guns and their bombs. In your head, they are fighting. It's in your head. Okay, do we have people ready to go? We have people ready to go, Cap? You have anybody ready to go? Okay, we'll start in a minute. Who's that? Oh, man, that looked crazy. Looked like a fucking death person walking up. Do you see death for a second? Whose name is that? That's little. That was crazy, bro. Ah, so good to be here. Everybody, this is AZD IMC Nation for the next 3 hours till 1 o'clock. Till 1 o'clock. We're going to do, I'm going to be helping you with your problems today. And I know, what the fuck? I know that I always help you, but today I'm extra good at helping you, okay? So bring your problems because they don't stand a chance. Now, in order for you to get the best help, 2 things. 1, ask a specific question to formulate a good question. I'll help you. Number 2, be honest, okay? Everything that I'm going to be doing today, first of all, is this, okay? I'm a man who lives completely unattached to life. I'm here to testify that I have no attachments to life. How's that? For real, you're looking at somebody, okay? And I'm a man with 0 fears. I fear nothing. I'm a man with no plans. I'm a man who knows God. God is real. I'm a man who knows that this being called Jesus Christ laid a path to his God, for sure. And I'm also someone who says that I followed that path and I achieved everything he said his God would give. Eternal peace, kingdom of heaven, healing. All my wishes continue to come true because they all have come true. And now I just wish and it comes true. Okay? I don't cast a spell. I don't imagine it. I wish it, you could say. And it happens. So now I have like unlimited wishes. Right? And when you have unlimited wishes, you get tired of money and women and whatever else, and you start wishing for other people to have more money and women so that so that they don't have scarcity around you. And when you have inner peace and joy and love and all those words that are nice, then you also notice that you can't have fun with people who don't have that. You also notice that, also, I would like you to know, 47 years, this body has been going around the sun, right? And then another year will pass, and this body will go around the sun again. Okay? And it'll say 48. And then it'll say 49. And I can't do nothing about that, by the way. It just kind of goes like a clock around the sun, right? And then it'll be like 60. But me, I never grow up. I'm a kid. I hate school. I hate teachers. I hate going to church. I like boobies. I like swords and superpowers. When I go shopping with girls, they're shopping, I'm playing Star Wars in my head. And what else about me as a kid? I'm a kid, and I'm never gonna grow up, okay? Ever. But my body is gonna keep going through around the sun. And maybe one day this body will be 60 or 70, right? But I'll be in here still glowing like this. I know that for sure. So I'm here to say that this book, the Holy Bible, and what it says in it, and the messengers in it, and the main messenger, which would be Jesus, has completely altered and saved my life. And I'm going to help you using this book. Let's start. And I'm here for arguments too. Okay? Who do we got on?
First is Joseph.
Joey.
Hello, hello.
Joey. Hey, what's up, Joseph?
Hello.
Hey.
Yes.
Well, I don't know who Joseph is until I see Joseph. There you are. What's up?
That's me. That's me. Thank you for the day before yesterday. I couldn't be here yesterday. Anyway, since it's more helpful to be specific, I get this feeling that I am really stupid, that I don't get all of this stuff because I've heard it so many times, and usually my mind can put stuff into practice. But
Yes.
lots of times my bad thoughts overcome me, or bad feelings as well, and I start to doubt what I need to do, and I try to calm and say, as you said before, I will do only if I know that it's from God, or I know what I want to do. And
Right.
then I have all these contradictions about, like, desire is bad, for example, or all this stuff that I have in my mind, like, that some people could say is sin. That it was kind of mind-boggling for me to know that someone who might be in illusion, living a good Christian life, could go to hell, and someone going to strip clubs but being authentic is actually doing God's work. It's kind
Maybe
of
I'll go to hell. I don't know. Hey, I'm not saying I'm going to go to heaven, everybody. I'm saying that on earth right now at this moment, I have all of these things, obviously, okay? And I'm also saying that if you're around me, I don't hurt people. I help people. I'm a good person. And in conversation, people get better. So with all of these things, if there is a heaven and there's a God and good, then I'm all right. Outside of that, yeah, I do whatever else my father would want me to do, because I think that he made this life for me, you know? So I don't think my father has a problem with me meeting a girl, bringing her to the light. I don't think my father has a problem with me going with my friends to a strip club. And, you know, every time I go, by the way, bro, last 3 times, one girl sits the whole time, right? Bro, one girl sits with me for 2.5 fucking hours, okay? And it's like, they're working, right? But the conversation is so nice, and it's just so nice, right? So I don't think that I'm not doing anything wrong in my heart, right? But I don't know if I might be going to hell. Maybe the devil's playing a trick in my head. I don't fucking know. Here's what I know. I know that I don't know. That's for sure. So I'm not certain of anything because it keeps flipping on me. However, I do know for the first time in my life a fact that I've been looking for forever. which is there is a right and I know it, and there is a wrong and I know the difference. Once I know that 100% and I know it now, right? Then I can freely live without having to police myself ever again because my heart is pure, right? And I bet you your heart is pure too. I know it is, okay? And so instead of sitting there and entertaining, like dancing like Bennie did, right? Instead of sitting there and entertaining the thoughts by dancing with them and conversating with them, I'm going to tell you something when it comes to evil, okay? For everybody, don't get in conversation with evil anywhere, anytime, because it's coming from a bad place and you're coming from a good place. So at the end of that, okay, at the end of that, you're either going to turn bad or you're going to get slimed, but they're not going to turn good. Not through that conversation in you, unless you were sanctioned by God to do it. And I can do it. So if you can do it, congratulations, go for it. People need to work, right? However, until that moment, nobody should ever conversate with evil. And the biggest evil is in your head, not outside. You should not entertain and dance in front of and bring tea to and say, come in, watch movies with me, any thought. Okay? You should never feed, here, have some food, any emotion. Thoughts, they are entertained. And that's how they keep going. They thoughts like to sit down and talk about things. Thoughts like to debate. That's what a thought demon would be, right? Or a thought would be in the head. A thought is continued by debate, by entertaining, by giving new perspectives to it. And this keeps the thought alive and stronger because now it has another image stuck to it, another image stuck to it. And the thought gets so big, I can't even sleep now because there's a thought in my head that I've been entertaining all day, reading about, getting information about, watching shows about, and now I'm trying to go to bed and this motherfucker is alive. Okay? So now I'm gonna have to take some sleeping pills or something to what? This is not gonna go to sleep. I am gonna go to sleep while this now is even more alive in the environment. Okay? Now through the night, the sounds and things are actually being recorded even heavier, and I'm gone. So then I may wake up the next day and go, I just don't feel like getting up this morning. Because the thoughts were very active, but you sedated yourself so that you can sleep. This happens with, I had insomnia, sleeping pill. Bro, come on, man.
Yeah.
That's thoughts. Thoughts, everybody, need entertainment to continue. Emotions, they don't do that. They need food, fuel, and they feed off of somebody else's emotion. They feed each other. Two angry people talking will get more and more, and they'll go into hate, and they'll go into, and then, so these demons feed each other until someone gets in a fight and it releases, or they break something, or they do some crazy act of hate. Then they normally, if you watch someone who's been very angry, they actually calm down like this, like they just had a whole fight, literally, inside, right? So emotions are fed by seeking similar emotions, and they feed off of other people's emotions. That's why as a man, you can't be triggered. You can't have those things, right? Because women will turn very evil with you in arguments, disagreements.
Yeah.
When she disagrees with you and then you try to bring righteousness, right? Then whatever inside of her that was preventing her from being righteous will have to defend, right? And so when that thing defends, she's no longer in control. She wants to be right. Everybody wants to be right. We were made right, okay? So first step is a man purifies his own heart. The best way is to follow the way Jesus lived and how he responded. That allows the light to come through. And if everybody would understand that up until present time, modern psychology, you need to know this. psychology is the first time in mankind's history up until now that mankind has been looked at as an animal and no spiritual existence.
Yeah.
Okay? Psychology and psychiatry were created during Nazi times and a little bit before so that people can turn into what they are now, animals. Okay? Up until modern time, every single person on any part of the world, when they dealt with another person, they also knew there was a spiritual consequence to things and a spiritual world around them. Then they told us that they were going to go ghost hunting. Ghost Hunters 1, Ghost Hunters 2, ghost fuckers, ghost lickers, ghost shows up your asshole shows. And what they did is they went into these spooky haunted places, right, with gadgets, and they went, boom, I feel something here. And we saw the experts go and measure a bing, boom, bing, right? And we kept watching shows and getting spooked, but never, ever seeing anything. So there goes now our sight for ghosts.
Yeah.
Then what?
It's evil.
Then we saw things flying around the air. So they said, we'll show you with all of our equipment in places that are the most deadly, like Skinwalker Ranch. The word itself says Skinwalker Ranch, and it was named by who? Motherfuckers way back in time. The Indians that lived there called it Skinwalker Ranch, and they had paintings there that said, don't go there, demons are here, there's a portal. Now you got a bunch of scientists with equipment at the highest level. For 6 months in Skinwalker Ranch, we're noticing anomalies. Now, this anomaly here, you'll see, that's the guy's voice. Literally, these guys are actors because their voices, they sound like this all the time. You know what I'm saying, right? And so now we're relying on them to show us the fucking UFOs. Now the government has said what? UFOs are real. And here's a tic tac. The Navy took a tic tac. Motherfucker, that looks like Atari. I used to play that shit, and it was about the same fucking graphics. You're telling me that your naval fucking camera picked up in the air a foreign object that looks like a tiny little tic tac in the air, and you don't know what it is? It's all a misdirection, so you can't see. Eventually, you see what they tell you to see, the controlled perception, okay? And so then we read the Bible, we can't see what it says, right? Or check this out. We see our thoughts and we don't hear what they say. You can't even hear your own thoughts. Why would you possibly sit there and entertain a negative thought all day if you are even sane?
Yeah, that's why, yeah.
You get it? I'm just
That's why
telling you
it doesn't make sense. So I don't understand why I do it or why it happens, you know?
Okay, so you just need to walk outside and grab a leaf, okay, from a tree, or just look at it. And from the root to the sunlight, the whole thing has to make so much sense.
Yeah.
You get it? And so
Crazy.
everywhere, everything makes sense except in my head.
Yeah.
There's got to be a problem here, because if I am more advanced than that tree, and I am, and so are you, then why am I crazy? Yeah. But what if no one told us that these were thoughts inserted from outside and they latched in to another thought or an emotion? Mom was angry. She said some shit. The emotion hit the child. The child was surprised because what the fuck is mom screaming at me now? I don't get what the fuck. I thought she was just help and happiness, right? And then the child gets rattled and sits down. The innocence of the child tries to make sense out of the violence of a mother or a father on him. And he doesn't get it. Then the mother or father feels bad or doesn't feel bad, and it's feeding time. So when they come pick up the child, they could even pick up the child with anger. And here, eat this, you little shit. But the child is like, oh, food. And they start to perceive love as that level, right? Because that's what they got. And their innocence goes away little by little by little by little by little. And so we're all fucked up like that. Now, I'd like to speak the Bible for a minute. Is that all right? Yeah? Enough? At it? This is so cool. So mother and father, I'm speaking Bible now. So if anybody want to debate Bible, I would like to debate this part, okay? The mother and father have a child, right? So you got dad's seed, mother's egg. Bing. All right? If we say at the moment when the baby is conceived and begins to grow inside, if we said, who does the baby belong to? Let's take a vote. Mother? Father? What? What would you say? It's a guess, and I'm going to show you what I believe is happening. What do you think? Father? What do you think? Father? What do you think? Father.
Father,
Father?
because the woman belongs to the man.
Okay.
I would say the child belongs to the father.
Okay, so now watch this. Let's take it one step further. If I said he gave the semen, she gave the egg equally, one without the other wouldn't work, right? And I would say to you, just for the sake of the argument, because we're going to use the Bible, so I'm going to know there's a God. What if I then inserted this? The baby actually belongs to God. Would you disagree? Anybody that said father? You wouldn't, right? Now watch this. That makes sense, right? But this is actually where it's different. If this book is true and valid, and in my existence in life, it's true and valid. It's more valid than any history book I ever read. More magical than any magic book I ever read. It tells better astrology than any astrology book I ever read. It has better UFO stories, mythology. This is the greatest story I ever read in my life so far, okay? Now, God, in the story, the child belongs to God. So we think, however, per the story, where we are out of, well, human beings are cast out of Eden. Did you know that? So in this history of Earth, the men and women you see are actually kicked out of Eden per the story. Can we agree?
Yes.
And then in this story, Eve and Adam are being punished, and the serpent. And it is said that you're going to be born into sin. And every child, we don't understand why a baby could be sinful. I never understood that about Christianity, but now I understand it. For myself, at least, I totally get it. Because the soul is put there by God. Because Lucifer can't do that, can't give a soul like that. But the moment the baby is born in here, outside of Eden, it actually belongs to the devil. That's why you have to be baptized. Baptism means I'm now being born again as spirit. That's the symbolism and why you go back in the water and out, because you came from the water, the womb. But at that moment, all babies on earth belong to the devil. And do you know why? Because you go back to Genesis. One of the punishments of Eve was that your children are going to come out suffering and you're going to suffer. And the question I've always asked as an intelligent child, all the way up till moments ago, is such. Evolution must have fucked up here. You got something that stretches a vagina like, I mean, how far is this bitch gonna go? That? I mean, can you imagine a vagina like that? I doubt it. But then the baby is gonna come out like this. And it's gonna get twisted and roped, and she's gonna shit her pants. And no matter how beautiful she's ever been, her man has to see her piss, shit, scream like the demon that she is to squeeze out this baby who's like hurting to come out, obviously. I've never seen one animal in the wild cry like that when it comes out, in torture and pain. But it's aligned with the story, right? And many die during that, mother or child. That doesn't sound like the most evolved species right now, right?
Sure.
It sounds like the most evolved species with a little bit of a punishment on him and her. So now you got this baby born into pain. He can't even help it. The other way is they can cut her belly to take it out. And we know if they do that, something's really wrong now. Our birth is into hell. No other, I don't see baby fawns fall out of the ass and then they just, their legs are weak. And even when they're looking for milk, they don't look like they just got squeezed out of a fucking tube and they were a watermelon or some shit, right? Okay, now you're born into sin and there is the proof. Then from there, it's hell all the way through, okay? To be baptized means to say, I no longer am born of the mother, I now belong to the Father. It's a releasing your soul, okay? So that's actual baptism. I know I can do it, just so you know. A man of God can do everything that a man of God's got to be able to do. And he's got to be able to do it with complete confidence, right? And I have that confidence. And I gained it through this book. You didn't even say anything, huh? You have a question?
Maybe one way that I could say it more specifically. Yeah, it makes sense that we are born kind of into hell because we are of this world, and this world is like full of illusions, and sometimes I can see how disgusting it is. So I am taking the bottom-up approach of looking around the world and seeing what my desires are, and then I am kind of disgusted with myself with what my desire is, and because that is like that is why that is my fascination with demons. What I like about the world is what fascination with demons of mine is. But I want to ask you these questions. When you said wishing, that it could be said that you sometimes wish, I want to also fulfill my true wishes, because that means that I would be an expression of God, or how God wants me to express. So
there you go.
but I don't know what those are. I am working on it, but I am working top down, bottom up, getting relaxed, being stressed, doing stuff, and I punish myself with everything I do, and I am fed up with this existence.
Hold on. You have to stop. He said, judge not, lest you be judged. What does lest mean? What does that mean? It's not lust, it's lest. What does it mean, lest? Look up lest, watch. Everybody
Unless.
Knows it's not unless. In case. Judge not, in case you get judged yourself. Okay, now watch this. When you do inner work with God, you are not to judge your own right and wrongs yet. You to observe. This applies, everything applies to self first, okay? It's a first help yourself book, self-help, right? So brother, as you're observing these things and you go, wow, burping is gross. I should never burp. Why am I burping? But because I was
it's feeding the demon.
No, but but you don't want to do that.
But that's feeding the demon to judge it.
You don't know what's good and bad, bro. Because if I thought what was good and bad, maybe I have to break up with my girlfriends, not go to the strip club, not smoke, and next thing you know, I'd be sitting here as stupid as everybody else, thinking I know God. Has nothing to do with that shit.
I meant the judging is feeding the demon.
You don't know your path yet, and it's as unique as your fingerprints. No other man shares your fingerprint, right? Anywhere, ever, like ever. That's a clue. That's a clue. If your physical body's fingerprint is different than every man, so is your soul's imprint on life. But we're born into the devil's playground, okay? And he has his sons or messengers or angels that come for his children. See, that's when they say God really loves his children and stuff like that. As this becomes more and more real, you'll notice how many times people have turned away from God and done all kinds of crazy shit, right? And then the moment I have them look at God, they're okay. And that's how I know that God is love and forgiveness. Because if anybody betrayed you as much as you betrayed God, if he was real, man, you would say, fuck that motherfucker. He's just an ant, right? However, everyone knows as a human being that your child could come out fucking retarded and deformed and it won't
You would
matter.
love
In
it.
fact, in fact, you might protect him more, right? So if there is a God and if he built us from his image and his breath, then he would have the same love we have towards our retarded child. Why would it be any different? Right? And so you could say the people here have become his not retarded, some of them, but mostly bad, disobeying children. Now, the thing with faith, people can't apply faith very well, right? Faith is a word that comes with the word obedience. If you want to have faith in this God, you have to obey the commands of this God. You can't say I have faith, but I don't obey the commands. You must not have faith. Faith means I will obey the commands and I have faith that it will, whatever. So people say, I have faith in God. Say, okay, do you obey the commands? All of them, 100%. Well, Friday nights are for drinking with my girls, but they're going to Vegas and, she's not a bachelor. I grew up with her. And the moment you deal like that, it says in here, you shall not worship two gods. You can't. The moment his promotion job is more important than his freedom, he'll suffer forever. And if he does very well in his job, he'll get promoted to a higher level of promotion for the demons. If he does really, really well, he might one day own a strip club for demons. I have a brother of mine who owns a strip club, okay? He is one of the most fucked up human beings you ever meet. He waves his gun in the air around his friends, right? I'm serious. He turns to his staff and calls them cockroaches in front of me, right? He's filled with so much anger. And then when he sees me, he comes up and he starts confessing and crying and saying, I don't want to be like this, man. You don't understand my life. I don't want to be like this, bro. You're the only one. And this is before you knew what I know now, right? And he's like, look, I'll pay you $5,000 just to come talk to me for an hour, but just you and I. I'm losing myself, man. I'm losing myself in the drugs. I'm losing myself in this shit. This shit is bad. I'm losing myself, right? But on the outside, he's an extremely good-looking guy, extremely successful, a lot of money, probably the finest women. Like literally, I think that has the finest woman out of everywhere I've seen, right? Is his club, right? He's one of us. He's one of my brothers, one of my students, right? And he's going away, right? So I message him every once in a while. And if you keep getting promoted with the devil, you end up there in any area. But with the light, you don't even have to worry about that at all. Like it's not even whatever.
Yeah,
whatever.
I want that.
Yeah.
I want that.
You have it. That's why you're seeking it, because you already have it. Once you know you actually have it, and the seeking of it was a distraction from it, then you just sit in it all day. And if nothing happens, nothing happens. If something happens, something happens. When it's time to eat, you eat. Right? When it's time to sleep, you sleep. It's not about the clock. If you eat, you wash your dishes, because that's what you do, right? Like it's just life is so simple. And then if a text comes through, you answer it. If you want to hang out with somebody, you genuinely want to hang out with them, right? So you just hit them up. And if not, you're always good by yourself, because whatever is happening is fine at that moment. And if you feel lonely, if ever, then you reach out to somebody, but it's cleaner. So life gets very simple. And then a woman around you sees how simple you are, but how powerful you are. That's real power, is simplicity, right?
I am so lucky that I feel like I have a lot of people, or not a lot, but a couple people that are at your state of mind in life that I can talk about these topics. If then they've
Right.
been also telling me that I might have it, that I just need to accept it. But how to dwell in it, how to stay in it. I've been working with the mechanics that I want to get lost in my environment, not to be in my mind, but at the same time observe my inner space, accept everything.
No effort. You're putting effort to do that. Do you get that? You're doing that with effort. You're not supposed to try to observe the environment. You're not supposed to try not to think. That's another thought, another observation. But right now, all you need to know is everything I keep saying. Keep reading that book and just sit in it. Don't try to sit in it. You're in it already. Again, these conversations you have to have and go back and come back, right? Don't look for that moment of enlightenment because time is not like that at all. When it happens, bro, and it's going to happen for you. It's going to happen in a surprise. If it's not a surprise, if you got yourself there, I promise you it's a lie. I promise you.
Yeah.
It has to happen. And all throughout history, all the Buddhas, everybody, read their stories. It happened, but there was something about them. They lived very, very purely, all those men. But then it happened, and they all saw God, whether it was through martial arts, painting, music. They were looking for God, right? And then suddenly something hits, and it happened suddenly. So you want to live your life knowing that there's a plan and that everything you're going through are the things you need to observe for that moment of alignment. Now, when is that? When you're living in that, you don't worry about it because there's so much you're understanding about life and yourself that you don't worry about it. When it does happen, then what looked like past and future won't be like that.
Yeah.
It'll look like your entire life was now because you could access whatever you need to, just like when you think about it, but it doesn't go like this in your head. Okay? It goes like this in your head. And then it goes like this.
It's like
then-
I wouldn't even allow myself to do it because then every thought of mine would become true. And there is like this inner belief that whenever I held it for a couple seconds or by grace it happened, I scattered away from there because I was too scared like of it or of myself.
Something in you was scared of it, that's for sure. But it wasn't you because you were seeking it. You know what I mean? Bro, you're on the right path. Keep going. Stop trying to figure it out. Okay? But I understand. I understand how those words sound. I understand how they feel. And all I got to tell you is it's perfect what's happening. So keep doing it, in quotes.
Just tell me to calm the fuck down and I will.
Calm the fuck down.
Okay.
All right. Yeah,
Thank you for today.
You're welcome. Calm the fuck down. Okay, who's next? This is so fun. I have a lot of fun today.
No one else has replied that they want to speak.
Okay. What do you think about that? Born into.
I saw where you were going.
He owns it.
Yeah, that's right.
He owns the lease on everybody on earth. And that's why baptism, you have to be born, right? But now.
Really, the baptism can't just be the ritual of it when you're 8 days old or whatever.
The ritual is a ritual back in.
So what do you think about baptism? Does it need to be when the person is mature enough to know what they're doing basically and have come to the light and accept it? Like it has to be like an internal decision. Then yeah.
The dip is after here. You don't do this, then this changes. A person has to be like, I've seen the devil. I've seen his works. I'm not okay with this. I'm a sinner. I don't want to be this anymore. For real. I give my life to Christ, to God. I give everything. What about your Friday nights? What about the alcohol? Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. What about your job? You got it. Why? Because I've looked and it's all wrong and I cannot live like this anymore. I must kill the evil in me. Okay, come in here. Get some witnesses. Say the right words. Now, who's saying the words? That motherfucker better be pure. You know what for myself, okay, because that's the role I've been given my whole life. To be a preacher of the word, of any God, if he helps, okay, is the most powerful position on earth for me. There is no rank higher, but it's given by God, not the guy who goes and learns how to preach or grows up in the church and speaks, right? It's assigned by God. And when it's assigned, then you understand how important it is, right? To be a man of God. Blah 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 blah. Babylon. Okay. What do you think, Jaime? What's happening over there? Things are changing.
Yeah, for sure.
I see a lot. I think next, buddy. Buddy, get ready to be humiliated, buddy. It won't be that hard. You're like third round or something.
First round.
First round is you always. We know the first round, they arrived together to San Jose. They arrived around AZD, first round. Go ahead.
Yeah, a lot of things have changed. Just being around the environment. I was telling Octavio, I feel like last night during the lecture, it was something was happening internal. Like as you were reading the Bible. Yeah.
See how powerful it is? It removes curses. And it was revealed to me this morning. Some really, man. Oh, man. Go ahead, bro. Don't get me started.
And geez,
Jeez.
Young Jeezy. No, that's Young Jizzy. Young Jizzy, not Jeezy. Go ahead. Trying to
let's see.
Young Jizzy.
There's still
Lil Durk.
there's still I don't know if I call it demons,
Okay.
but there's still insecurity that I feel.
Yeah.
Insecurity, and I'm like, how do I get rid of that? I'll give you an example. So last night was a big test for me
Hell yeah.
because it was my first time at that club that we went to, and so
What a shit club. But hey, did I turn that motherfucker around or what though? Right? Zay, remember when you and I and Will in the back? And I said, this is an unfriendly fucking place, huh? And then when I came back, I said, well, too late now. They're gonna have to be friendly now. And then you guys saw what I did. By the end, it was again our space, right? Well, what a bunch of fucking assholes. Men, women, and children there. Right? Bunch of dicks. Fuck you.
it's the experience I felt. It's so
Asshole
Yeah.
walked in. Everyone. And then is that the greatest fucking sound you could find? How violating.
One girl is
Telling me she's like, she comes there on Mondays because she likes the DJ. I'm like, are you kidding me?
That fucking faggot usher looking guy? Fucking fag. Well, anyways, bro, just so you know, that was just like, what would that be like? I don't know. Go ahead.
yeah, that was the first thing I know. I'm like, oh fuck, I'm like, that shit's annoying. Like it just like we're there to have a good time, and then you hear this fucking horn. It's like, all right.
You know what the girl said to me? She goes, I'm from the hood. The first time I heard that, I thought we were getting raided. The chick that was talking to me. I'm like, yeah, makes sense, right? Go ahead. It's like you're about to get raided sound. That's what it felt like. She was right. Mhm.
So waitress comes in, and this is with her. I had that experience.
That ugly little girl. She was an ugly little creature. And you're all trying to make her pretty, right? Her teeth are already just like rotting, right? Her hair looks like she looks like a little witch that came out of a swamp or something, right? Ugh. Ew, bro. She looked like a throw up walking. Go ahead.
So she gets my drink wrong. I asked for like a pineapple with tequila. She gives me like a tequila shot, and I ask her,
The bitch did the same thing with this bitch. She asked for the wine and she gave her a fucking shot. Same thing, exactly. That's so funny.
So okay, she brings me the new drink, and I'm like, I ask her, I'm like, I give her $100 bill. I ask her for some once.
Yeah.
She kept avoiding me all night. She never brought my once.
And then what?
I kept on calling her. I'm like, she kept up ignoring me. I was like, hey, excuse
Wanted from you?
pretty much. I mean,
Bro, yeah.
I know.
Help me, if
Yeah,
anybody.
so, yeah.
mm.
Hey. You don't fuck with you don't you don't fuck with that guy with that. Injustice don't sit around. This is America, motherfucker. Right? Call the captain. Yeah, excuse me.
Flag waving behind me, like ethereally, it starts, powering up.
Hey, we the people. We the people. Right? If that gets violated, go to that guy. Then you'll see what he can do. But step back a little bit. I'm not kidding. So anyways, that's great that she stole 100 from you. What's it like to be bullied by a little girl?
It felt like I was a bitch.
You are. Yeah.
I was like, man, I'm being tested right now. I feel like a bitch.
What kind of test is that? That's a little girl that has your money. That ain't no test, bro.
That was going on through my mind, and I'm like, did I really just get bullied by this fucking little girl? Like, what the?
Listen. Meanwhile, you're getting bullied by your thoughts.
Yes.
You see how that goes?
Yes.
Meanwhile, you think you're making yourself okay. You're actually getting bullied by your thoughts. Second move. You think you're thinking that. The same negativity and thought that created that is now feeding on that. And it's about to call up some emotions for you too. Yeah, that's what they do. Okay, go ahead. Keep going.
The night, it was just me going through these fucking roller coasters of emotion.
Don't just ask somebody, bro. Hey, what do I do? What would happen?
And this is another thought. Is like, this is the devil, and like, I don't want to make it a big deal. It's all right. It's just a test, and that was me the whole night. I didn't enjoy the night.
Yeah, no shit. You were having a conversation. You would have a terrible conversation all night about yourself. You spent 2.5 hours sitting there talking to yourself about yourself and how terrible you're doing.
I was like, yeah. And that was my so I was like, okay, cool.
Good job.
I just
That's it.
observed it, and I'm like, okay, something needs to change.
Are you coming out tonight? Good. I decided today that I'm also going out Wednesday nights, just so you guys know. I know if it's too much money for you, I understand, but I'm going to go out Wednesday nights too. Okay, it's important to do this for me. So come tonight. Sit next to me tonight. Today. Okay, nice, dude. You look great, man. Yeah, really good. Anything else?
No, I'm waiting for that moment of like, oh, here's gonna come like, of like when I see I kind of like what forget the gentleman's name, but
Yeah.
like I'm seeking for the light too, but like
course.
when I find it, when is that moment? So I'm waiting for that moment, or I'm
Let's put it like this for everybody, okay? As a clue, just so you stop worrying about it. When everything is broken down and you've tried every door and you just know that you're not going to make it. Okay? In that neighborhood, maybe. It's very far. That's why I say you got to go through hell to get here. Right? So don't look for it yet. It's a while coming. It's a while coming. Okay? First, you're going to have to go through whatever it is that comes from the outside like that affects you. At some point, nothing from the outside is going to affect you, but you're still affected. Then you're going to realize it's in here. As scary as that was, it's more in here, scarier. Then that goes, and then goes and goes. And all you need to worry about is, in order for you to have the freedom that you want and deserve, you're going to have to go, let's now use another term. We're going to use karma. You're going to have to go through the karma that you've accumulated, which is the past actions. You get what I'm saying? That's not going to be easy, everybody. It would be easier with Scientology if they were doing it properly with you. Then they could move you through exact moments that would be the most charged. That's why that technology is so powerful, right? You don't want to go and go, well, I fucked up here, I fucked up there. However, I got through it somehow with this book, right? And they didn't have Scientology back then, but they had Jesus. So this worked for me, okay? But I also had Scientology too, so I have to remember that. Even in that, there's moments in your life that have affected you so heavily that you never want to go and look at them again. In fact, those moments are normally buried so deep in the subconscious mind that they're not even accessible. So through Scientology, through the e-meter and the person knowing through L. Ron Hubbard's questions that he asked, he was able to locate these major heavy moments that have really held your attention and energy and soul, basically. And by asking proper questions and the person answering, never telling them what's going on, but asking exact questions that L. Ron Hubbard discovered, then the person, by answering the questions, looks at that incident with someone who's in present time and aware and knows how to guide them. Perfect communication. He guides them there, has the person analyze that situation again and again and again, and then suddenly they see the evil in it and the good in it. And then it releases all that energy, and the person looks very light and bright, and they're free of it. Then they go back and they find the next one, right? And what I'm saying is, even in that, you're going to have to go through heavy shit that you've gone through. But since we're not going to do that, we're not going to go into our pasts. I don't have technology here for that, right? What we're going to do is we're going to do what he did. And what he did, he walked through life and dealt with life in a very specific way. And we deal with it like that with the commandments that he gives on the new sermon, a new Sermon on the Mount, from that, right? When you do that, it's, for me, it seemed to suddenly clear out the karma, because they were all hanging on like one idea that I thought was right? For example, I know the woman has to listen to me. I've known that since I was a boy, knowing my mom should listen to me. This has never changed in my life, right? I had all this information. Why? It's better for her survival. No shit. She's designed by nature to follow a man. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, all the way to Z, right? But then when I understood why from here, now I had no problem at all. And I don't even have to explain it anymore because it's the truth. Suddenly, knowing that has allowed me to have that like this without asking for it. I don't know why I'm telling you that, but probably helpful for somebody. Cool. Okay? Anything else, Hamito?
Nah, that's it. That's it.
It's by your foot. All right. Anybody online? Thank you. Oh. Disappeared into thin air. All right. Who else here? That's okay if you can't find it. It was my little wand. Oh, I have a question online. It's from a woman, okay? It's a good question. So let's see. So I lost my pen over there somewhere. Oh, you know where it's at? It's in your backpack somewhere. Check your backpack. Look all around it. Can you answer this question? All right, question is it in there? Magic.
Bro, it fucking went into here. It was like that.
In there, right? Not amazing? There you go. Now, obviously, I didn't do that, but I did that because I knew that. But I couldn't be able to make that pen fly out of my hand into his fucking backpack and disappear. Okay, the question is, what if the man... Wait, no, that's not it. How does a woman deal with loneliness if she is not in a relationship and wants to be in one? Now, this is very interesting because actually in the wording, it tells you where the curse is, okay? And I'm going to show you first, and then we're going to break it down, okay? Whoever was asking, listen. How does a woman deal... Man, I wish you had this gift, but that would be stupid wish. You're going to have your own gift, and you're going to see the world through the eyes that you need to see, okay? But it does not look the way it looks to you, and that's why I know how to answer it so easily. How does a woman deal with loneliness if she is not in a relationship? Ready? Watch this. This is the curse. And wants to be in one. Let's start there. The loneliness is a symptom of wanting to be in a relationship. Now let's start again. She doesn't want to be in a relationship. She's not lonely anymore. Wouldn't that solve it, first of all? Yeah? Because how does a woman deal with loneliness if she's not in a relationship but wants to be in one? So It doesn't matter if she has friends. It doesn't matter if she has activities. She wants a relationship. She's going to feel lonely until she has a relationship. That's a desire that is keeping that woman lonely, right? So if we think of loneliness as a thought or a feeling, loneliness, it's both, okay? It's both. If you think of loneliness as a thought and a feeling that are attached to each other, right? When you feel lonely, it's a feeling. It's not necessarily when you're alone in your room. Sometimes you're alone and you don't feel lonely. So it's a feeling for sure. And it doesn't have to do with the outside always. Sometimes you want to be alone, but you're not lonely during that time. Someone says, but you're going to be lonely. You say, no, I just need to be alone. There's a difference, right? Sometimes you're surrounded by people and you feel lonely, right? when one of our brothers visited this weekend for residency, right? He was surrounded by his brothers, lonely. He was being outcasted. We don't want to play with you, man, because we're bullies. I was the biggest bully. Every time he'd come around, I'd get rid of that guy. I want him around me. So he was around a lot of people, but lonely. So loneliness is not outside. It's a feeling inside, first of all, right? Now, when does one feel lonely? It's not when you're not in a relationship, because a girl in a relationship feels lonely. Did you know that? She'll say to her boyfriend or husband, I'm lonely. And he's like, oh, so who am I here? She said, no, it's not that. You work or you do this. Like, I feel lonely. I want a dog, a cat, a baby, a friend, a vacation, a work, a job. So she could, just so you know, whoever's asking the question, there are many women in relationships that are lonely. Is that a fact, or am I fucking making this up? So far, we know it's a myth that being in a relationship doesn't make you lonely. But you've been given a wrong idea that's stuck to you for a long time. Love you long time. And the idea is that if I had a man, I wouldn't be lonely. Okay? That's actually not true. Why are you lonely? Let me tell you something. If I ended up in the middle of paradise with a lot of everything that paradise has, right? And I had all the friends in the world, and I had everything a kid would want to grow up. But I didn't know where my dad was. Right? I knew he's around. My mom is there, but when I go ask my mom, how am I supposed to do this as a boy? She says, well, you want to, when you sword fight, that guy that's losing, go lose to him a little bit and make him feel better. Okay, mom, because that's what a righteous, honorable man is, son. Okay, mom. Right? But the boy, I know we're talking about girls, but I'm getting there. The boy who never knew his father will always feel lonely. Do the men here agree or disagree?
Agree.
100%. You all should know that out there. You could give a boy everything. If he doesn't know, he has no concept. Is there a picture of him? Why did he decide to have me, mom? You were an accident. 2 particles collided, his dick and my vagina, his sperm and my egg collided, and you were born. You were an accident. That's the 2 particles that collided and created the Big Bang. Right? A big old bang inside of a mature orgasm. Think about it. So now, there's no purpose for me. I was an accident. Just like Johnny next door. Makes sense. He's an accident too. Everybody's an accident. Okay? Now I'm living my life and I'm missing something still. I have to make sense out of it. Okay? Now let's just change it up. We're going to have a father that's a real, I mean, he's going to be the perfect father according to what I know. Okay? And now he has a son. And the son sees the next door neighbor, the other guy we're talking about, has all the toys and the biggest castles, cars. But as he's growing up, his father, step by step, guides his son on life. Every step of the way. Instead of his son going to school, he goes to work with his dad. Let's say his dad is a minister, whatever a fucking man wants to do. He takes his son with him. And in his work, he's part of a tribe. He doesn't sit on a fucking computer punching numbers like a faggot, calling that work. So he's going to be around other men that do men work. And they know that's his son, and they have sons. And so everybody treats that son like a boy. When he comes back and the next door neighbor girl comes over and says, you want to play with my toy? He's like, why are you here? I want to work with my dad tomorrow. He should be watching his dad do a righteous work. And a man doing righteous work would want to bring his son to it to show him he's proud. And he'd be proud of his son. Because he would have had a son because he wanted a son. Not because they were fucking 300 times a month and they had a son and they tried not to have one. Listen, you guys as men and women can have all kinds of sexual gratification without having to insert your dick inside of her and come inside of her, just so you know. That final act is the devil if it's not for a child. Because you can get all the satisfaction. And have you ever been with a woman who would risk your future, her future, the baby's future, and tell you to stick it in without a condom? Have you ever been part of that and missed it? When she's hungry for your dick without a condom and she doesn't even know you? What is going on? Right? And how difficult it would be to stop that? It's insane, right? That's insane. But we can't see. So how do we even get into this?
How does the woman that's lonely?
Oh, shit. Lonely. So listen, a boy who doesn't know his father is lonely. But did you know that a girl who doesn't know her father is lost forever? At least the boy already has the light of his dad in him, stronger than she would. So something in his soul will stir up as it did in mine. And he'll see a samurai with a sword. As a man, he'll say, I want to be that motherfucker. And he'll go to martial arts and he doesn't find that motherfucker anywhere. So he starts to create his own motherfucker while he does it. Then he sees a magician perform miracles on stage. And he says, I want to perform miracles because he knows he's supposed to. His father would have. It makes sense. His father would be stronger than that fucking puny guy on this fucking stage. So then he starts doing magic and he realizes that it's fake. But he doesn't lose faith in magic, which is actually miracles. And he moves on, and in his soul, something stirs and steers him towards what would be in Las Vegas, 2024, IMC Nation. What the fuck are we doing here? So we know that the boy can be saved. He can read another boy's story of his perfect father and perfect upbringing, and he can recognize that that's the way. He's crucial to life, because if life goes wrong, a man somewhere will make it go right if he's around. That's why they're destroying men, right? Because only a man is going to make it go right. Now, what about the woman? When she doesn't know her dad, and I've dated many girls who don't know their dad. When she doesn't know her dad, she's always lonely, and she'll always seek a boyfriend. to fulfill the role of dad. And she'll act like a brat and not like her wife because she never had a dad. So she challenges him all the ways she would challenge a dad. And when he's the perfect dad, she grows up right under him. And she knows when she becomes a woman. My girlfriends are becoming women now, finally. Why? Because now there's a fucking man. I got nothing to do with them, right? And it's rapidly happening. And there's nothing more beautiful than seeing a woman become a woman. Okay, let's start again. Outside of the incredible experience of a man of being a man and who he's supposed to be, there's nothing greater than that I've ever experienced. It's good enough for me to say, fuck all you. Why? Because no matter where you put me now, I'll be me. So test me. I don't give a fuck anymore. So that's the greatest feeling. And that feeling comes from me knowing there's a God in this whole sequence of the Bible, right? Now, the second greatest feeling, let's say he doesn't have a kid, right? Because a kid should come after what I'm about to say, not before. The second greatest feeling is when he sees a woman become a woman the way his father would have created her. Because he would have created the perfect thing for him. In fact, in here, she was taken out of Adam's rib. Our ancestor in my life is Adam and Eve. So if you go, Arash, where did your body come from? What are you from? I would say Adam and Eve, mom and dad. Right? And then I would say, dad a long time ago made a big mistake. Right? And later on, the same guy who created dad had created another one called Jesus. And he loved dad so much, that's why he breathed life into the ground and put him in Eden. That was his boy right there. He was taking care of him. He loved him so much that he sent his own top guy to teach all of his sons, because imagine having a son, then imagine having a grandson. And I only know that because my father and my mother both vouch that they love the grandchild more than, no, let me try again. My dad never says that, actually. He never says that. No, he doesn't say that. My mom, right? That the grandchild is more precious than even her own children, right? Which is not a bad thing at all. I'm just saying, right? We would be the grandchildren of somebody, right? And so for the woman that feels lonely is because you don't know your dad. How's that? And you're going to go find a man and you're going to read righteousness into him. You're going to say, he's wearing a cross like AZD or his people. He goes to Bible study. He's a minister. You'll pick one of my guys you like and you'll impose this man's archetype on your people over there. And then you'll pay for it again, right? So what does a woman do that's lonely? If you know her, and must know her if you're asking a question, right now, at this time, the answer is show up every day to this, and it'll start to get better and better. Other than that, good luck to you, because I have no idea how you're going to do it. You'll be lonely forever, and you should be. You should be burning in the hell you're burning right now, okay? Loneliness is the least of your problems. Loneliness is the one that'll bring down some of the real fires going on in your heart. You see that? At least you could be distracted. That's a big enough distraction, a boyfriend, to have you stop looking at what you should really be looking at when you don't have a boyfriend, right? Which is why, as old as you are, probably as pretty as you are, because I don't see any ugly girls up there, why you've failed so many times in life. Why your life right now is truly a disaster made of matchsticks ready to burn up or kick down. That you know nothing, then you have no friends. You don't know that anyone loves you. You don't know if there is love. You don't know if there's God. You would easily shake hands with the devil to give you what you want right now. That's your condition. And your escape is to look for a relationship, thinking you're alone because of a relationship or lonely. No, you're lonely because your heart is black. I'm never lonely. I do joyfully want to hang out with my friends. And if I text a girl to come over, which is very rare, it was none for a while. I was not allowed by the Father. But now if I have the desire to do that, it's because out of the list of endless women in my text, it's going to be the one that in that moment I would enjoy hanging out with that has nothing to do with sex. So if any girl gets a text, it's because I'm thinking about her and I would like to talk to her, and I'd rather do it like this than like this. And it would be somebody that I actually care about. Now, if she wants to come over and have sex, that's her prerogative. So it's just very nice. Okay, hold on. The question comes, by dad, do you mean God? No, I mean earthly father. You don't know your earthly father. Even if he raised you, he wasn't around. He wasn't a dad. He was a mom. There was two lesbians. What is it? Lesbians. There was two lesbians raising you. One in a male body, softer than your mother. Do you know that men are softer than the women right now? One of my girlfriends and I go to some fake sushi place, and to my left is a guy. He's a black guy, dressed real nice. Imagine Sunday church outfits, right? 3 kids. He's got the infant like this. He's holding the infant eating. Well, he's here. Next to him is his little black boy, and he's doing this while he's doing this. Ready? Right here is another little kid on a little phone right in front of him. She's sitting over there looking like a motherfucking vampire queen. Sharp. Her posture is such. Looking at him. His motion is such. Right? I'm not kidding. She's like this. Man, and she's beautiful. She's a light-skinned black girl that looks very nice, head to toe. And she's like this the whole time. Then the guy gets up to go. I tell my girlfriend he has to breastfeed. He doesn't want to show his titty. And he gets up and he goes to the front. And for a second, I really think, I go, oh no, he's going to change the baby. Right? No, he goes and grabs the stroller. And he brings the stroller. He puts the baby in it, fixes the baby, puts the bottle. She's here still. Getting her phone. Now, I'm using my energy to tickle her. And I tell my girlfriend, all right, I'm now going to get her attention. So I started looking directly at her. She's not very far. She's right over there. Natural reaction for her would be to look at me, especially when she's about to now get out and walk this way and not look at me, right? So I'm just directly now looking at her. If you guys have been out with me, I'm just going to see what happens. And so this man now fixes the baby, gets the other kid ready. The kid with the fucking phone now, as I'm doing this, the kid notices me and looks up. So I give him a little smile. He moves over there and runs to that. She now is taking her time. He's waiting. Here she comes. Doesn't look at me at all. Doesn't look. You'd have to work very hard to not look at me at this point. Okay. She has to go past just like this. It's just like this. She gets up. She goes slow. They walk. He's pushing the stroller, holding the baby, and she's elegantly walking through. I said, did you notice? She didn't even look one time at me. Bitch knows what she's doing. So he's very soft, but he looks like a big black man. Okay, that's being eaten alive by some kind of a fucking venomous creature inside, right? So even if you had a dad, I bet your mom was wearing the fucking pants. Okay? So that's not a dad, right? That's not a dad. There's absolutely zero argument between man and woman in a healthy household because the roles are clear, right? We have roles here. Any organization has roles, right? And so it would be weird if somebody who's like in charge of this group and gives the orders to whatever group for then someone to argue with that person. Like, then why are you in the job? Right? So a woman gets a man so that he could lead her properly in life because she's wrong every single time. Right? So in that case, I'm going to have to order you what to do, just like the Lord orders me. And it's not voices in my head. Okay? I've overcome the voices in my head. I don't have voices in my head. When they come, I go, that's a voice in my head. Okay? So, blah, 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 blah. Loneliness, you're in hell. Congratulations. Come every day if it's important to you. And the moment something becomes more important than this, then recognize that whatever light you're getting from here, at that moment, you just shake hands once again with the devil. That's why you can't sin. You have to be perfect. And I don't know why people think it's hard to be perfect. For something that was created perfect, it just is perfect. And you could test that by not worrying about what you eat and when you sleep, and when you drink water and how many gallons you had. Okay? Then you would know that your body was created perfect to function. Okay? Don't count calories, don't count sugars, don't count fats. Like, what the fuck are you doing, man? Insane. Any guy doing that got it from a girl. I'm telling you. Bodybuilders are girls, bro. Bodybuilders are women. Okay? A bodybuilder is a chick. He's up there in a G-string, fully tanned, shaving everything. Even his asshole, he's bleaching. Top bodybuilders bleach their assholes.
What does that mean?
It means that the color of it has to match their fucking skin so they could, because they have to be sprayed and you know what they look like, right? And then they walk out like this.
Yeah, but they don't show their buttholes. So it's weird.
I know famous bodybuilders who were training me who showed me their phone of their fucking client's butthole spread. And he was laughing. I'm going, is that guy gay or is this a bodybuilding thing? He's laughing. He goes, well, I mean, we think he may be gay. I'm like, why is he sending you an asshole picture? And why are you showing me? And then his wife is there. Oh, what a nasty couple. And they're laughing about it. Oh, man. Oh, I was,
That's not humor.
bro, now I'm seeing what the fuck was going on in there. Oh, man. Oh, they hired this fucking guy one time, and he was supposed to be a Qigong master, which is like Chinese, whatever. And this fucking faggot was so interested with me. And he was like, I like to work on your body. You have energy, whatever, blah. Everybody sees the light in the Rosh, right? And so, yeah, fuck yeah, you're a Qigong master or whatever, right? You're wearing all the right outfits and shit. You're speaking that quiet talk, right? These fucking nasty demons that I'm connected to are man, I'm ready to do this. Now I'm going to tell you some weird shit. Okay? Yeah, you know what's coming. Yeah. Here I am. Okay? And I don't want to take any of my clothes off, first of all, which would be a clue, right? So I say to him, it's Qigong, right? Energy. I'm going to keep my clothes on. And he's like, oh, okay. All right. We could start like that. So this guy starts doing shit. I start thinking about my dick getting hard. And I'm like, whoa. I'm ashamed. Right? I think there's something wrong with me. Can you imagine? Right? I'm having a fucking conversation with Gio and I start getting a fucking hard on. But I'm not getting a hard on, but it's starting to like move. And I'm starting to panic. Like, hey man, what's going on with me? Right? Anyways, I didn't get fully hard, thank God. But then he kept wanting to work on me for free. Right?
That's even more weird.
Bro, now I can see him now. These guys were this group of just sex fucking fiends and druggies, man. They were so nasty, man. You know what? I really love him, actually. No, he's like one of my good friends. I'm just realizing how dirty he was. But he's, no, really.
So when they're doing that, they're touching you, or like they're going over it?
Massaging me, but like pressure points, kind of, right here. So then I'm thinking maybe he's releasing some fucking shocker or some shit into my dick, right? But dude, I'm a fucking guy talking to a fucking another guy, and he's like touching my body, and my dick's starting to tingle, right? And I'm like, man, this is fucking weird. So the whole time, like Jaime was talking to himself, this dude's massaging me, telling me about Qigong, and I'm just being like, don't get hard, that's weird. Then I'm like, don't think about your dick. And I'm like, oh my God, bro. Right? It's in this moment that somebody with less light who didn't have girls might watch a show that says, have you ever thought men were attractive or felt comfortable or happy? Or you know what I mean? Because I bet you that faggot was doing younger people than me. That's what he does. And I know for a fact what he was doing with women because he told me, right? That he would use that to have sex with women. But that's a conversation every man has had with me about every subject, just so you know, at some point in their life. I've had every man of every field tell me. So I can't be lied to, from surgeons, bro, to police office. Man, ain't no one person. I've been with preachers. I've been all of them. They all want to fuck. And they're all using what they do to fuck. Uber drivers, fucking janitors, right? Grandpa, dude in the elevator, right? The old dude in the elevator, when the chick walks in and his hot walks out, you just turn to the old dude, nice song, oh yeah. Right? Talked in Vegas, old man. Right? It's dirty, right? It's dirty. And we've done it, but we didn't feel right doing it. And that's what I'm trying to show everybody, right? You just felt guilty. You should feel guilty doing weird fucking shit. You felt shame. You should feel shame when you do shameful activities. It's shameful for a woman to go dance in her underwear tonight, right? And then try to act like I got it going on. I love hearing them talk. Don't try it. You'll get slapped. They tell me everything, and then, I listen so well. You see on my body, it's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then, I preach back, and then they go, and I go, do you know why this is happening right now? Because you're actually so fucked up that you can't even see it right now. Huh? All this shit you said is bullshit. This is last night. You are in hell. How are you going to try to tell me that this is okay? Right? You think I'm a fool here? Huh? This is trash. Pure trash. When we walked in here tonight, it felt like I walked into garbage. And you're going to try to tell me you're doing something that you want to do? Did you really fucking want to be a fucking stripper? Is that what your fucking goal was? I'm like, when's the last time you had sex? She goes, it's been a while. I said, I could fucking see it when you dance. How long? She goes, 2 years. I go, why? She goes, I can't find men attractive anymore. I said, then get ready to be a lesbian. And she goes, I'm not going to do that. I said, you're going to do that because that's what happens here. For sure. Or get ready to be addicted to some kind of drug. I said, you're a woman looking all fine and you haven't had sex for 2 years and you can't even be around men and enjoy the time, right? You're fucked up, dude. Telling me like you know God and shit. I said, you know the devil and that's what you know. And you're her daughter and that's why you work here. And that was my conversation with the curly hair chick last night. At the right moment. Because then, and it was no negativity in it, right? Blah, blah, blah. I could talk all day, so you should talk now. 11:25. Okay, let me see what all this is here. Anybody else?
Yeah, maybe you can see my messages.
We'll give it a minute.
Anybody want to speak? Raise your hand.
Me?
AZD.
Nah. Man, who was I talking to last night? I was like, whatever is preventing you from asking the question, right, is the actual jail cell that you have to get through. And then you learn something when you talk to people. Everybody has the same problem. You think it's yours. Like the guy yesterday thinks he's the only one that talks to himself. I'm like, do you know everybody here has voices in their head? He's like, no. The Persian guy.
Oh yeah.
Remember? I'm like, serious? He goes, no. I go, you think in Farsi. I go, you think you're the only person who has these thoughts running at night? He's like, yeah. And I was like, dude, are you kidding me? What's up?
Yeah, so
Get on camera. Good looking. When are you going to become good looking? Huh?
I don't know what you mean by that.
I mean, like a good looking guy who walks around like a not good looking guy. Did you know that?
No.
Well, now you know. You're a good looking guy, right?
Yeah.
See, that good looking guy knows it.
What do you, okay, in what ways?
I mean,
It's never been.
he's up. This is more important.
No, okay. Let me go to what I was gonna say. I've met people who don't have voices in their heads. Like I would ask them, like, do you have a voice in your head to tell you like to do something or not to do it? And they're like, no, I don't have a voice in my head.
Right.
And that's weird because
Who was like that? Do you remember?
because I meet people and I just have random conversations with people.
I also meet girls every night that tell me that they're with God every day. Just so you know. And they're so convinced of it.
And that's why I came up with that meme.
Oh, yeah. So it's the same thing for you.
Yeah.
You're running in the street, they don't have voices in their head. Cool. Well, so what?
I was like, are you not tapped in? Like, this is the thoughts coming into my mind. Like, are you lying?
I don't even know what you're saying.
They're self-conscious.
No, bro. They don't know what you're saying or they're lying.
Or they're lying.
Yeah. Come on. You know how I said, when are you going to become good looking, right?
And that's just like, I never thought of that. Like, where do you like now going to that? Like,
It's related because everything is one verse when I hear it, okay? So let me tell you how. If I was going to fashion design you in my God's fashion show, I would say this would be the code, okay? The right way to say this, okay? When you stop acting and dressing and moving and behaving like the way your mother wanted you to do, you'll become very good looking. Because you're like a little boy right now, but you're a man.
so
You carry yourself like a little boy. I'm a little boy, right? But you carry yourself like a little boy. You operate like a little boy.
you know, I could see that because like like from what you said, I have a 5-year-old in me. That's how I feel.
me too. But that's okay.
Yeah, that's how I feel. So that's why I have so much energy.
Yes.
And then going to where you're saying, like, I
Bro,
never.
that's why we've been friends for 14 years because we're kids. And that's what I'm saying. I'm saying you, how old are you right now physically?
36.
36, right? You as a 36-year-old man, right, are, yes, you're a child just like me. You're ageless, right? But your movement and actions and beingness and all that as a 36-year-old man is a movement of a boy who's going to school. You always look like you're going to school. Right? That's a confirmation. Then he's always either getting off the bus to school or getting on the bus to school or going from class to class. Yeah. See, like that. You get it? Now check this out. Check this out. Yeah. But you, as a 36-year-old man, will do the same activities, not as a boy who goes to school. And you'll dress for the activities, not as a boy who's going to school, but as a man who has children who's 36 years old. When you do that, you'll become very good looking because you are, but you're holding this structure of a boy.
What suggestions do you have? Like how
you're here every day. Why don't you quit your job for 2 weeks and see what happens, and just be around us for 2 weeks? You have free AZD for 2 weeks.
that's one of the reasons why I moved out here. You know what I mean?
But you're not doing it.
I'm here. Yeah. I mean,
You have a promoter. You came here to learn what I know. Well, do you see since we came here how much I've grown? Okay. So what happened? Right? So if you came here for that, something pulled the attention and made it seem like that's for this.
well, I mean, it's crazy because you shifted so quick that like it didn't give me time to really.
I would always say, don't blink when you're around me, you miss it.
I know.
This is what I was talking about.
And I blinked for too long because I missed the shit.
Yeah, don't blink. So, but now don't miss it. Don't blink now, because I'm still here and it's still happening, and you're still here, right? So now see it. Take 1 week off. Borrow money from somebody. Here, I'll bet you pay them back. It'll be a righteous borrowing, right? Or we'll all pitch in. Tell us in 1 week what you make. I'm willing to pitch in with whoever else wants to pitch in. And we'll give you 1 week of pay, but you're going to have to be with one of the people that ride in AZD's car on their schedule. So that you have to be with one of them. It's like the movie Revolver. Right? You're going to have to give it all up for 1 week and be around them. Even if you want to stay at Pegasus. Or Eden is open. But you're going to have to be like a resident, right? You'll volunteer too. There you go. I follow him. I follow Cupid wherever we go. He's my eyes. So that's a good deal. Satan likes to make deals, and so do I. So here's the deal, okay? We'll cover your unrighteous pay with righteous money, but you pay it back. The moment it's over, you start paying it back, okay? But we're not going to have a care about it. So 1, we'll take care of that. 2, everything I do is free, but come around, okay? And live in one of these 2 places for a week, or both. If you get bored of one, you might want to sleep next to Zothis. He's cuddly. He's cuddly, bro. It's huge. You and him could cuddle with him, right? If we put Octavio, Bennie, it'll be like a lot of them could cuddle with him, right? So yeah, all those demons are all cuddling with Zothis at night.
It's like Big Hero, Baymax. It's a movie.
For kids.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Kids that go to school. Yeah.
Oh, I watch kid movies. I don't watch like adult movies with my kids.
Yeah. Don't. Okay. So anyways, there's the deal. I love it. It feels good in here. If you want to take it, we start now. So the next step for you is to see, like, honestly, if you had a good week, how much the pay would be.
Well, this week
Wait,
okay.
Just later.
Well, I'm letting you know the next couple of weeks it's really busy at work. You know what I mean?
That's why it's being offered now, I bet. You see that? I was just talking. In a couple of weeks, the offer may not be here and probably won't the way it's going, right? Octavio wants to talk to you about this later. Wait, so just talk to him about it, okay? All right, Benny. Do you have a question? Because that was like a lot.
I mean, I already.
Yeah, that was no problem. Come around. Let's do it. Talk to Octavio later. Okay. All right. Good. Who's next? I don't want this to stop.
So we asked about last night.
You can ask about anything, bro. I love talking about this stuff.
So last night,
Last night,
yeah.
I made love to you. Last night, I was inside of you. It says that. Last night, I saw the sun, the moon, the heavens, and the stars above. I saw heaven when I made sweet love to you. Isn't that blasphemous? Right? Isn't he worshiping the pussy? Didn't you just say that? Last night. What a fact. Okay, go ahead.
So we get seated after the fucking horns, right? And then we're facing the
Horns.
yeah. fucking DJ boards.
The DJ horns. Uh-huh.
And we're looking at the stage that's close to the entrance, and then all of a sudden it's like, you know what, the stage is right over there, right behind us.
Yeah.
And you switch, right? And so we're waiting until eventually a girl goes up,
Yeah.
and I observe you get up,
Yeah.
and I see you're moving.
Go ahead.
I see you're moving. You're grooving to something, and then Octavio points out, he's like, "Does he have his headphones on?"
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. I'm like, okay. And I was just wondering, is like, I'm looking at it, right? I'm observing at you. I'm like, man, you're in your world right now. You're just like, you're not even listening to what's being played because the music did not match to the way you were moving.
No.
And I'm like, okay.
It was matching the way I was moving, which is interesting. Did you see her and me? Right? Who was she dancing for?
You.
Could you tell?
Yeah.
All right, so good. Right. But I wasn't dancing to that music,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
Isn't that cool? So what it was supposed to, yeah, so I had my headphones on and I will have them more and more. I told you guys, they're essential. I have to go get another one. Carry 2 of everything you need, but don't carry anything you don't need. How's that? Right? So 2 glasses, 2 contacts, 2 headphones for this guy, 2 phones eventually, right? The essentials. And then outside of that, you don't need anything. Carry your essentials that you need to do your work, right? For my work, I need my glasses and I need, what I carry with me. And now, as we level up, as you guys level up, I will do more, right? So there was a time where I really wanted to put on my headphones, but it wasn't the right time. Now, more and more headphones. Eventually, AZD will ride with him and he'll be headphones almost all night until you talk to him, right? And then I don't know what happens after that. But it's fun because I'm in my own world, I keep saying. And I know my world is senior. It says in here, it's called the kingdom of heaven, and it's in here. So, right? So I am listening to the song in heaven, watching that girl in heaven, and being in heaven, right? So then when she comes here, she's gonna have to join me in heaven. And that's what happens with everybody. Or I lose myself. Okay? Or I lose myself, but that's not gonna happen. Once you know yourself, you can't lose yourself. That's why people lose themselves. Right? Because like you don't lose you must not have located. But you can't locate you. You have to find God. Right? Then when you find him, then he's looking right at you. Okay? And at that moment, things change. You're going to have so much ability to heal people, guys. It was all revealed to me this morning. I'll show you. It's in this book. You guys know that you don't know anything about this book? Me neither. And we're discovering, man. Then when you start reading it, you start understanding how evil they are, that they don't say these things. They're picking and choosing pieces of this that keep you in this level. And they're denying all of this level. Right? The book should be a spiritual reading, not a physical reading. Because it's a spiritual book. Right? It's a spiritual book. Are you spiritual? Yeah, super. Yeah, me too. Oh, yeah. You're a spirit ritual. You're spiritual. I'm just spirit. But I can't tell you that because you wouldn't understand it. You say, I'm spirit too. No, not the horse named Spirit. I am spirit. You don't even understand what spirit means. Okay? Oh, yeah. What's next? Who's on? How come no one's asking questions? Don't be afraid.
Scared. Yeah,
of course.
scared here.
I'm always seeing people be afraid of me. You're supposed to be afraid of me. And if someone's not afraid of me, then talk. Everybody, all the guys now have been challenged. Well, I'm not. I just wanted, I agree with you. Don't agree with me, please. If you have to agree with me, don't unmute, because that's a waste. Okay? But if you don't understand something, then let's talk about it. Okay? How about, you have so many problems in relationships, you don't have one question? Right? Yeah, here we go. Yeah, speak for them, Benny.
So
I want to go with what we're talking about, thoughts, right?
Yeah.
Like every thought is thought of the devil.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So like
Let's put it like this. It'll make more sense. Every thought is deceiving you. How's that?
even if it's like
true. It's true that it is deceiving you.
okay, so let me give you Jim.
Well, what happened?
So we talk by examples, right?
Mhm.
So an example, like in the mornings
Yeah.
when you don't want to get up, but you hear a thought that's
Who doesn't want to get up?
I don't want to get up.
Yeah,
right?
because I will get up.
Okay, for example, let's say like today in the morning, I spent the night with the girl.
Yeah. Oh.
And literally we literally went to bed like 5 in the morning, and I woke up at 7, right?
You're doing good right now.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So
Coming out tonight?
yeah, just because you asked me. Yeah.
Well, I thought we got to make the deal today. See, the devil has a timeline. So do I. I'm giving you a better deal than the devil gives you in 1 week.
What the reason?
All benefits, bro. I'm even covering your pay.
I want to start a fresh week, a full fresh week.
This is a fresh week. Because that timeline doesn't exist, right? Why do you want to start a fresh week? Tell me.
That's how I'm programmed, I guess.
But why? Like, tell me, okay, if it makes sense, we'll start a fresh
It
week.
just makes sense to start like a Monday to Sunday.
But why?
So it just that's how I'm programmed. Like a fresh week starts on Monday. I mean,
So does that sound weird that you're saying that? Because we can start right now.
okay, we can start right now.
Right. Okay, cool. We're starting today. Are you taking the deal in front of these people?
Yes.
Now listen, if you break the deal with the devil, it's heavy consequences, right? But if you break the deal with God, it's heavier consequences. You know that. I'm here to do that, right? I'm not Jesus. I'm just a guy who knows the Bible.
There is the reason why I moved to Vegas.
There is.
So
So you ready to do it? All right. Bennie now. What's the wording? Bennie now has 7 days. On the 7th day, he'll rest with Cupid, 45, and Captain, and AZD. We're going to kill you. I'm going to try to kill you. They're going to try to not. They're going to heal you while I kill you. Are you ready?
so as I speak, just observe the way I communicate, and when I'm done. So
Now we have a deal.
okay,
I
yeah.
got to do my work.
Okay, so
You want to do it in front of people?
yeah, definitely. I mean, that's why I'm here, right?
That's right. Me too.
And that's why I chose to sit here and talk.
Me too. I'm also children. True.
So thoughts are deceiving, right? Are deceiving.
Uh-huh.
So with that being said, like a thought, like I have to get up to be here at a certain time.
Right.
Because that's what my word was for the stream team, right? So there's like 2 thoughts, right? I need rest and I need to get up.
Right.
And I followed I need to get up because I said what I said, so I'm going to come through on what I said.
Right.
So is that a thought of the devil?
Do you have to think about coming here?
No.
Then yes. Because you're going to come here whether you think about it or not.
No.
So why are you thinking about it? That thought is actually the other thought.
Yeah.
And yes, they're both of the devil, and that's what makes him sneaky. He plays both sides. Because you're going to come here without thinking about it. But you're going to have to think about sleeping and why it's important. Now, you know that's not right. So as this thought happens, another thought happens. I need to go. And it looks like there's a righteous thought. Okay, so I'm going to go. But you know the difference? This thought, as you move through the day, will have effort. But if you knew this, if you knew that, like you said, you're a righteous man, you gave your word. So ready? So no matter what thought came up in the morning, it would make 0 difference. Then when you come today, you have a different energy level. Just clean. I spit my tongue. Just cleaner. Right? Not like more energy, just cleaner, because there's not a thought still entertaining, I could have slept. You just know you're going to show up and you don't need to think about it. Just like me. right? I have a lot of thoughts of what I'm going to say or how it's going to go or what time the girls are coming. And if I'm hungry, bro, thought after thought after thought after thought after thought after thought. But I don't entertain the thought, right? So in Zen, they say, you watch the clouds pass, you watch them pass, right? Or a better one for that is birds, when they go through the sky, they don't leave a footprint. That's how a thought needs to go, like this. And if it lands, you're not supposed to do this. What kind of bird is that? Have I seen this bird before? Isn't that kind of bird? Wait, what do you feed it? That's a scary bird. Fuck it. There it goes. Zoom. Zoom. Right? But now a thought comes like this. Okay, I was on the phone with somebody earlier, and I said on the phone, it was a girl I know. It's actually a girlfriend of mine. I said on the phone, but I haven't spoken to her on the phone for a while. I said, I don't like to talk on the phone. I hate talking on the phone. I hate talking to people on the phone. And then she immediately had emotions, tears, right? Well, why? Because when you said that, right? Yeah, I said that, and it's true. It has nothing to do with you. I said people, and I don't like to talk on the phone with people, right? That I sound angry when I speak on the phone. I can't fucking do it, right? But if she entertained that thought, it would just pester. And then she'd have to think about herself, or he doesn't love me, or I haven't been around, or we haven't, and it would all just be wrong, actually. And she could even then have a righteous thought, supposedly, which is, okay, you know what? You need to text him more or appreciate him more. And that wouldn't be true either. And that would come across with me going, this is not necessary for what's happening here, right? Or she could just see the thought go through and go, and even the feeling, and go, okay, that's why you practice sitting quietly so that you don't entertain the thought.
So it's like when she overthinks, she overreacts, right?
Of course. The more, the more. So at some point, you're going to catch it. Oh, shit. This is why I'm doing this, because I'm like, you catch it. Sit back just like you're doing right now and be calm. And just be calm for a while. That's a practice you teach your children, because then they'll always be okay. Because the moment they're quiet, they're with the father. You would want that if you were there when your child was acting up. You ideally, if you and tell me if I'm wrong, okay? Because it's coming to me right now. Ideally, I think a father, when a child is going crazy, if he had it an exact way, he would first have the child be quiet and be quiet before any other movement, right? Yeah, I would love to.
My son, he's very emotional and he likes to overreact and like, blah, 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 right? And I'll sit there calm and I'll look at him and he'll look at me like, see no reaction from me. Exactly. And then he'll stop. And then like a couple minutes later, he'll be like, I'm sorry for behaving this way.
And you have to deal with the thoughts exactly like the way you deal with your son. Just sit and look at them, and then they'll apologize to you, actually. The thought will be apologetic, you'll see. It'll be like, let me give you an example of that. It will be like this, like, no, I always do the right thing anyways. I shouldn't be so down on myself, but it's still a thought. It's like the apology of the kid. Watch that too when your kid apologizes, sorry. And then you have to say to him, don't be sorry. Don't ever be sorry. What are you sorry for? Well, but don't be sorry about it.
I have mentioned that. Don't be sorry. Just understand where that came from.
That's it. You're supposed to do that with those thoughts. You're doing it perfectly with your son, right? And that's how the father wants you to act. Exactly what you did.
So I guess so I know I'm more tapped into the father than I thought I was.
There you go. Those are perfect words. You said, I guess. You changed it to I know. Tapped in, more tapped in than I thought I was. Yeah, you're right. You thought you were less. And that's what everybody sees. That's all I'm doing with the guys around me, is I'm showing them that they're much greater than they're acting. But it's the thoughts and their own black little hearts that are preventing them. Like, this guy made $8,000. He made $9,000 in 3 weeks, bro. That's a rich man walking right now. For sure, he's going to make $10,000, because that already happened now, I think, right? So if you're making $10,000 a month, right? That's $120,000 a year. That's a 6-figure nigga walking around like a broke ass nigga.
You know what's crazy? Sharing an experience of like him not believing that he.
We're here.
Yeah, it just made me like.
Yeah, think is okay. In that moment, you were going to say think.
Yeah.
It's fine because you know what you're saying.
Okay.
You see how you're conscious of it?
Yeah.
So eventually we're going to have to use the words to communicate with the world. And that's what I've been learning, right? So I knew that you were going to say think and you knew what you were saying. All right. Yeah.
I thought back to when there were situations in life that I couldn't believe that I was going through it, or like the next day, it's like the experience is gone, right? Like, dang, did I really experience this situation?
Yeah.
And the next day, it's like, well, when you experience the situation, you have a bunch of emotions, bunch of thoughts at that time.
Right.
But the next day, those emotions stay in the past, right?
They should just disappear with the past because the past has disappeared.
Right. So the next day, it's like a whole new version of me.
Exactly.
And those emotions, it's not there no more.
Exactly.
So it's kind of like him like saying like it's hard to believe that, or it's not real at the moment because that realization is gone already. So maybe that's why he's.
But why are you worried about them?
Okay, well, because it relates to what I'm saying about that experiences I have with people or in life, like when that moment is gone, like when I have great experiences with people and that moment's gone, the next day it's like a whole new version of me. So it's like almost like we didn't have that conversation in the past.
Okay.
So it just made me think like,
You're still worried about him. Are you trying to solve his problem right now?
no, my, because it's actually helped me. His experience helped me with my experiences.
How?
Knowing that my experiences are my own, and it's there for a reason, right?
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Nice. And you know, you're already sounding and looking better. And we just made a deal. And that's the difference. I say, right when you turn into the light, bam, it starts happening. But when you make a deal with the dark side, you're going to now have to do 30 steps to begin some activity that's going to give you nothing. You should feel light right away. Right away. Okay? Let me read you guys something real quick. Now it's relevant. Check this out. Man, imagine everything you type, everything you talk about just feels good, right? So that you don't have to worry about people looking at your text. You want them to look at your text, right? If she grabs your phone, she says, I'm not looking, you say, do me a favor and click, right? And even if it's a sexual text, it'll make sense. It wouldn't be weird. Anyways, let me read you this. This morning's pretty cool. Remember, I told you this girl who doesn't believe in God and got a tumor and all that?
Yeah.
Yeah? Remember, I ended yesterday and telling her, well, then, stay in your hell. Remember that whole thing?
Yeah.
Right. Check this out. Look at today. We're going to go today. I start the day by smacking her ass at 7:55 a.m. A sexual text. A hand and a peach and a heart hand. Why? Because I bet you if you're a girl dying, that's something you want. How about that? And if I'm wrong, all right. She says, good morning with the sun. I said, my girl, how's it going? She goes, I think I'm sick, and I don't mean like my normal sick. Sick all the time. I think I'm actually sick. My throat is feeling worse today. I said, okay, get some medicine and rest. And whenever you're inspired, remember about prayer last time? Let me know, and I'll show you how easy it is to pray and how quickly you'll see the miracles wherever Bennie went. Bam, because I know it's immediate. If you do it right, it's immediate. If it's not immediate, don't talk to me about it. And then I said, I'll take care of your medicine. Let me know how much it is. Then she sent me a screenshot of these medicines. She goes, this is what I usually get. It helps quite a bit. I said, just send me the total. She sent me the total. I sent $2 extra. I said $2 tip. Okay, hon, will do. Thank you. Should arrive between this time. Thank you, prayer hand. Ready? Now, this is what I wanted to tell her yesterday, but I can hear the voices in my head, and I'm not going to listen to them. So I knew not to say anything. Now I say what I was going to say yesterday, but it's better now. I said, okay, love, God never Benny, where are you? Okay, good. How'd you disappear?
I'm listening.
Whoa, dude. Yeah, that's cool. No. I said, okay, love, God never turned his back on you. In fact, he sent you one of his favorite sons to you, and he's been taking care of you at your hardest times, and you haven't even seen him. Heart hand, infinity sign. She says, maybe one day I'll have faith. No, maybe one day I'll have that faith, but it is hard to keep it, at least for right now. She's told she has a certain amount of time to live and she's dying. So she wants to take a trip to Hawaii before she dies. That's her life right now. You understand? While she's sick every day. All right. Maybe one day I'll have that faith, but it is hard to keep it. At least for right now. She's already changing. Yesterday she was like, we disagree. But I don't know what the future is. You know? Question mark. So I can't say I won't change my mind on my faith. She was in the darkness grip yesterday. Yesterday, if I had said that, we would have argued. There had to be more righteous action taken for that communication to come across. Already, do you know the future? Maybe I'll change my faith in the future. Right now, it's hard to keep it, she said. Okay.
Can you say that you cut her off yesterday because she was dark, basically?
I didn't cut her off. Yesterday, I knew. I even texted her at night, thinking of you like at 2 a.m., knowing that that would go across as a booty call to her head. But I didn't do a booty call. I said thinking of you because I was. But I knew how it would be transferred when she gets up. 2 a.m., he's texting me. Yeah. Whatever, dude. So I said to that, I said, this is the final text. It's very nice. I said, only God knows the future. She asked me if I know. I just know it's very good for his children. And I'm one of his messengers. And I am also your angel. And you already know it. So don't worry. You had enough fate for this conversation to take place and for the last few months to take place. Now, just pay close attention today. I will send you one of my angels. I know it sounds goofy to you, but let's see what happens. And he will be with you today, and your eyes will begin to see, and your heart will begin to open, and the demons that have tortured your pure soul will start to fade away quickly. I'm saying that live in front of everybody. Now, let's just say I lied, which I didn't. Okay? I think that's a good message to send somebody in this situation. Do you agree? But what if I didn't lie now? Because even if I lied, it was justified here for me. But I didn't lie. So I haven't heard back yet. But is that cool, Benny? Is that important to you that I said that? Yeah. Yeah, it's cool, right? So it's just one moment and you should be better. Right? And if you have to work towards getting better, you're looking in the wrong place, everybody. It's immediate relief. It's immediate relief. Okay? And that's the difference between dealing with what's called in this book the Lord God and any other lords or gods. There's a title for this God in the book. He's the Lord God, it says. He's the King of Kings. Right? He's that one that holds more power than all the other ones. And I know that to be true because I met all the other ones too. And I've been lecturing on them for all these years. I met the most important ones in Buddhism. I met the most important ones in Taoism, in Hinduism, and all kinds of isms, right? But this one is the most powerful. And also it delivers what I want most, which is what? Healing to others, and for me to continue to live my life exactly the way I'm living it. I don't want anything else than what I have. I wouldn't trade it for nothing at all. Keep it, right? And I know that every man has this in them. Like, I just know it, dude. I know a lot of things, and I know that for a fact. And you know it, otherwise you wouldn't be following this fool. Okay?
I like to share an experience.
Go on.
Uh,
Go on, son.
it's crazy because it relates to what we're talking about being out of thought, like having no thought in mind, right?
Yeah.
So I was off work. So I worked as a promoter, right?
Yeah.
And I was off work and I worked, like
Promoting sex, money, and drugs. Sex, money, and drugs. For $2 every time you go give them 200. Yeah. Yeah, it is that. Yeah.
so
But not for this week.
I mentioned it to Gio, right? Because
Yeah.
it's related to like teleportation.
It's what?
Related to like teleporting.
Okay, yeah.
So every day I follow the same route to and from my car and to the venue, right?
Yeah.
And at a moment where I walked up the escalator and I was like,
And then you were going up the escalator again.
it's like a loop.
All the time. Oh my God, do you know what we didn't say? 1 second. You remember when we were talking about the deja vu to everybody? We didn't say the black chick that twice walked in and I said the same thing to her in the elevator and I didn't know it was her.
She was black. No, not black chick.
Whatever.
Pretty. Yeah. Yeah.
She wasn't black?
Yeah.
No, she wasn't black. She was a pretty girl. No.
It's like Italian or something.
Hey, Yogi Kuzan, she was fine, dog. Nah, she was black. She was fine. Hey, listen. Hold on. I want to tell the story real quick to everybody. Okay. So we're having, if you guys have ever seen the movie Matrix, there's a part where he has a deja vu kind of thing happen, right? And so we're experiencing, we're all very intelligent. We always keep a scientist next to us. Or I do. Right? Because my world is fucking cool. Right? So there's somebody else there who's always measuring shit like that. Yogi Chris. And
No one told you that she was the same girl.
he was the one that said it. So we're experiencing a person walk past us while we're still here. Then the same person walk past us again in the same direction. So we're having a lot of these experiences and we were sharing it. But there was one we forgot, which must be revealed now. How could we forget this one, man? You didn't forget, huh?
Just didn't see the stories moved on during that class.
Listen to what happens. The night before, we get in the elevator and we look cool, man. Like if there's ever a cool movie scene, it's us, right? So there's like 5 of us, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the elevator. Were you there?
Yeah,
The first night? 5 of us, ready to go. We're entering the area, right? The elevator opens and an attractive black, white girl, whatever the fuck she is, she's about to come in. So I say to her, do you want to come in? There's a bunch of guys. We could be your bodyguards or take the next one. And she goes, no, I'll come in. You guys, my bodyguards. She comes in. We have a little conversation. Yeah. If you remember something, let me know. Yeah.
She said that last time.
No. I'm on the first one. I'm the first night, Gio. Where the fuck are you? I'm on the first night. We go in and this happens. This attractive girl is about to come in. And I say, maybe you don't want to come in. It's a bunch of guys. But if you come in, we're your bodyguards. And we come in. She comes in. We have a cool conversation. I don't remember pieces of it, but it was cool. It stayed in this world. She leaves. The next night, I'm not even looking up, right? My head is down as we walk in the elevator. My head is still down like this. I see an attractive girl about to walk in. We're the only ones in the elevator. This is the next night, guys. A whole different night, a whole different time. As she's about to come in, I see her and I just look up and I go, I don't know if you want to come in. There's guys here, but we could be your bodyguards. She laughs and comes in and people start saying shit. And it's the same exact girl of the night before walking in. And I said the exact same thing to her at the same time. Dude, what the fuck? Go on now.
Man, I mean, now that you labeled it like deja vu, I could label my experience as deja vu. So I walked up the escalator, right? And I looked up, like my head was down for a second. I looked up and I was on the other end of the garage.
Hell yeah.
The other end. And I'm like, am I tripping or what? Right?
Dang. When was this?
A couple weeks ago.
Wow.
I was like, am I tripping? Or I think I may have overwalked or like, so I was like, whatever. So I walked all the way to the other end because I was like, I'm tripping. Like,
Yeah.
there's
How
the
did I get here?
yeah. I was like, there's the entrance to the casino. This is the second escalator. I was like, anyways, I didn't think at that moment it's all right. Maybe I was in my head.
We have to make sense, and we don't. We move on.
Yeah, so I was like, whatever. Anyways, I was like, whatever. Couple of days later, it happened again. But this time I was walking with a coworker and I was more like aware, right?
Yeah.
Because I was talking to a coworker. I was like, hey, you're on level 3? All right, I'm on level 4. He goes to level 3 and I went to level 4 and I looked up again. I was on the other end again.
Yeah.
I was like, nah, I'm not tripping. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not tripping. This shit happened again.
Yeah.
And I literally walked all the way to the other end, walked down to the level where the
Wow.
casino entrance is,
Yeah.
and I walked right back up, and I was like,
Wow.
"Fuck, this is a trip."
Yeah.
So it's like, I talked to my cousin because he's a Buddhist, right?
Yeah.
And you met him, Daniel,
Okay.
and he goes, "Well, it could be of two things. Like that space right there could be like a negative area,
Uh-huh.
or
Oh, we're in Vegas for sure. It's a negative area.
yeah, or the Buddhist he says, I'm paraphrasing, right?
Yeah.
He goes, the Buddhist says that when you're so like have no thought in mind, the essence of time is like an illusion. So that time literally just is not there.
Yes.
So that's why it's like maybe I sped.
That's very right. Likely.
Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, that's a trip.
I find myself in places, right? I know I went there, but you're right. There's no time in it.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's what happened because we're telling you that we're experiencing this shit. Now, you know what's so cool, everybody, is that we could actually sit here and talk about this and not give a fuck what anybody thinks, and that you could share experiences like that. And instead of going in a direction that'll misdirect you, which is UFOs or wormholes or energies or that shit, I can tell you that all that is in here and it makes sense according to this. Like that makes sense according to this. But if you started to look for UFOs during that and wormholes, you would just not know anything. All right?
Yeah, and I didn't have one thought of UFOs or wormholes. It's just the question that was brought up, like, what
That's
happened?
amazing, dude. Fuck. So cool.
My cousin also brought up the whole thing, like, if you make it aware, like make it known too much, you may not experience that again.
Yeah.
Which I don't think that's true.
Shit. He's read a bunch of books. Right? He's talking book knowledge. He's a professor.
Well,
He what?
he has a teacher as well, so
Yeah, exactly. Right?
it's
Yeah, he's telling you he's read and he knows, but he's never experienced himself.
it's never, I mean, it's not something I've experienced in the past when I'm in California.
No.
It's something I've never experienced.
This whole Vegas thing is an illusion.
Yeah.
Completely. This is not what it is. You'll see. It's a cardboard box that's empty inside.
And it brings me up to like the Matrix. You brought up the Matrix, how since it's an illusion, you could alter the reality of the illusion. So I'm like, shit, if I'm able to.
That's where you get caught.
Okay.
Don't exert any effort on the verse that God created. That's where you get caught. When you guys try to control that motion, right? You're going against this perfect order. Yeah, like as you're walking, so is every other human being, and it's all somehow orderly. Then there's look at all that's going on. We're just in our head. And now I'm going to exert my will over everybody. What the fuck is that? How? Right? I'm going to have to take something from somewhere to do that. To take something from anywhere, I have to it's the law of recompensing or some shit like that, right? Yeah.
Like Guerrero, you said
Yeah.
that one guy came up to him, asked him if he was a
Yeah.
Mexican mafia or like Nuestra Familia. I mean, it's like people are aware of us being here, 100%.
Good.
Electro with the girl in blue.
Hey, stop
And-
saying stuff like that. No personal stuff. Yeah, go. Yeah. Yeah, we get it. There's some real shit going on, or we're fantasizing, but I feel good. Okay, I feel good. It's a good fantasy to be in. Or maybe you guys are living in a fantasy and you can't see the reality of this book. Right? because you'll go through it and you'll miss what's being said. How do people miss this stuff? Right? Like it says what it says, right? And then you do what it says and you get the result. It's like a cookbook for your soul, right? There's an ingredient there, you apply it, and then you should get a result right away. So try it, see what happens. And you go, well, I don't understand it. Well, there's a lot in it. So go to the part you understand. Go to the New Testament, it's easier. Okay? See if you don't understand this. I'm going to read from the New Testament real quick. Let's see if we understand this, okay? It's the Daoist. Okay? Gonna be that kind of shit. All right. He says, for if ye forgive men their trespasses, what's a trespassing? See that? Right here, you already lost it. For if ye forgive men their trespasses, what does that mean?
Step or sin.
Huh.
In other words, it is
A false step or sin.
yeah, it is a disobedience against God's law.
There you go. That's what it means when it says that. Got it? For if ye forgive men their trespasses, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. But if you forgive not men their trespasses, neither will your Father forgive your trespasses. That sounds fair to me. So you're going to have to forgive everyone who's ever taken a wrong step towards you. Can you do that? No? Okay, cool. Well, that's what it says to do. Moreover, when ye fast, yo. Okay. Here you go. Moreover, when ye fast, like don't eat, right? Be not as the hypocrites. Be not as the hypocrites of a sad countenance. What's countenance? Look it up because we said it last night, but there's new people.
Person's face or facial expression.
Face or facial expression. Listen to this, okay? Moreover, when ye fast, be not as the hypocrites of a sad countenance, facial expression. For they disfigure their faces, that they may appear unto men to fast. Verily, that means truly, I say unto you, they have their reward. But thou, when thou fastest, anoint thy head and wash thy face, that thou appear not unto men to fast, but unto thy Father which is in secret. And thy Father which seeth in secret shall reward thee openly. I'm doing a lot of things secretly, and my rewards are everywhere. Right? It's true for me. Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth. What does that mean? Well, everybody's violating it. Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth. What does that mean? Seriously? You don't know what that means? Don't accumulate material on earth. What the fuck did you think it meant? But lay up, listen, lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt. You understand now? And where thieves break through and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. My treasure is in my heart. And anything I have, you can take, including my girlfriend's, including my life. Right? So that's why it's goofy when you try to protect something. Right? And so those are very clear to me. And if you're in violation of that, you can't say, I have faith. Faith comes with obedience to the law. Okay? You have to have faith in the law to do that activity, to not worry about how much money and shit you're possessing. You have to have faith in the law to know that you have to forgive everyone's steps towards you. Otherwise, you would say, I can't forgive him or her because they may do it again. So obviously you're not obedient to the law. Obviously you're not doing what it says. Don't be surprised when you don't have what it says you're supposed to have at the end of this thing, because it's pretty clear. And I tell you, I'm doing that. Everyone's forgiven all the fucking time. And again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again. Right? How many times? They asked him. He said, don't just forgive them 7 times, forgive them 7 times 10 or whatever the fuck it is. 70 times 70 times forgive them. That's 4,900 as a number. No. Is that 490 or 4,900? Which one? 490? It's 490. 4,900, that's a lot. But so is 4. But listen, go ahead and forgive somebody in this life 490 times before you come back. Right? Might as well be 4,000 because you can't even forgive them once. Now, if you can't forgive, then don't ask for forgiveness from God. Why? Because this is the rule book for this God. I know there's other gods. You don't have to believe me. That's not the Bible. No, the Bible said there's other gods. What the fuck? It says there's other gods in here. So I know there's other gods, but this one, he's very powerful, right? And I found my life in hell on earth with a bunch of suffering. So I followed all the other gods he talks about, right? And then I followed him. And I saw why he was the most powerful. And me, I've always wanted to be the best, fuck the rest, right? So if you were a god and you had a deal with AZD for anything he wanted, canceled. I broke all contracts with all goals and dreams and bullshit, right? And I released my soul to the light. Now, I am owned by that God. So I would like to show you his power and glory. So I'm here to be challenged on anything. And I'm here to defeat you. How's that? Okay? And if I can't defeat you, fine. But if I can, then I just did. And I did it because this God is stronger than your God. How's that? That's my job, right? I'm supposed to challenge the gods? Let the gods hear my voice. Let the gods hear my voice. So I'm here to challenge all your gods, your Buddhist gods, your Muslim gods, your all kinds of. I'm here to challenge your Christian God, because that's not this God, right? This God would not have a church where a person walks in and doesn't heal. Not one should not heal, okay? The one who wouldn't heal should not be able to walk into that church. I can tell you who wouldn't heal. There will be certain people who will be afraid to go in there. A church is supposed to be scary to sinners, not a playground of fucking dress-up costume and fornication, right? You get the difference? A church is supposed to be scary to bad people. They shouldn't easily confess their sins, right? They should be being pulled and trembled like this. And they've made a deal beforehand with their family. No matter what happens, get me in front of that fucking priest. That's how a person should walk in to confess. They should be in tears, in shame, you know, wanting to just end it all. I don't want this shit anymore, Father. Please help me, right? I'm shaking, I'm shivering, I'm spitting, right? Because you've been a meth head. So that is a church, and that's my church. And my church is wherever I sit. How's that? The good thing about my church is there's always apostles around. For real. And this is a better church than any church you'll find on earth right now, talking about the Bible. And if not, bring them here. Let's see. Let's see if they know this. Let's see if they know the Lord God or they know one of the Lords. Right? Let's find out. Because I know this God defeats everybody. Okay? And heals everyone. And it's so mighty that you walk in faith as a shield and a weapon. But you understand why you don't want to even slightly go off, right? And you understand why you don't want to disappoint him. You also understand how merciful and kind he must be when you see how fucked up everybody's acting all the time, knowing what's right. You start understanding. And how unmerciful the evil ones are. That the moment you make a wrong move there, they punish you in your mind, in your heart, and in physical. First, you hurt somebody physically. Then you're hurting inside. Then you can't get it out of your head. That's their punishment. On this one, he tells you, don't judge. Pray. How do I pray? Not like that. I'll show you how. But that's not how you pray. Okay? That one you become pray. Right? If you like to use words, which are not recommended, here are some good routes to move up with the words, okay? If you're going to pray, just pray to know God. Pray to know him and his glory and his light and nothing else. Not for someone to be saved, their life, for your child to be okay if they're being child trafficked and raped. Don't pray for that. Don't pray for that. In the moment, if your child's being trafficked and raped and you're being told and they show you a video of it, the most horrible thing you could ever see, in that moment, don't pray for the child to be rescued. Have faith there's a God and he's watching. If you pray for that child to be rescued, you didn't pray properly. You pray by knowing that he knows what's in your mind and your heart already. That if I know him, then I'll know what I need to know. But if I'm trying to put out a fire in my life, the fire was not started by him. So don't ask for the fire to go away. You started the fire. He's going to tell you, all right, now don't put a match there anymore. No more fuel on that fire. What's that? Your thoughts and emotions. Sit down and watch it burn a little bit. But if I watch it burn, then it's going to burn to the ground. Right. Sit back and watch it burn because you leased your soul to get that house. You leased your soul to get that woman. You leased your soul to get that job. So watch it burn and watch what happens. Well, God, if it burns, I have nothing. Okay, then go back and put water on it now. And when you're ready, turn around again. I'll be right there. Watch what happens, right? That's cool, man. At least I know that if I had a young boy, I would want him to know the story I'm telling you right now over any other story. Wouldn't that be better, though, to raise my son like that? So let's just say I'm completely wrong. I would still want my son to know the story I know of God and mankind and evil. He'll be safer knowing what I know, right? But he has to see it in me. So I can't be a pervert telling him not to be a pervert. It's not going to work. This is not going to work. Because your child knows your heart, just like up and down. And every father knows their child's heart, every mother knows. It's just, you know what I mean? Come on now. It's so nice, right? Life is so nice. Life is so nice because it was created perfectly, and then we started to make it better. Right? It was perfect, and we want to make it better because our ancestors ate the knowledge from the apple tree when they were told not to eat it. Do you know why? Because then when you know good and evil as knowledge tree, but you weren't designed to know it, you're going to malfunction like everybody's malfunctioning. You're not capable of withstanding that information coming in. Maybe next life, maybe become, who knows? But you and I were not designed for knowledge. Now, knowledge is everywhere and it's supposed to save you, but here it says it's evil. So I'm going to go with knowledge is evil and you're suffering for it. And I'm going to get rid of all my knowledge and be in the present moment and respond. And once again, my God beat your God. And my God is the Lord God, and his commander, his favorite son is Jesus. And he's the guy that leads me. And he's given me a spirit that lives in me. You have spirit in you too, spirits. I have one that lives here, one light. And it's called the Holy Spirit. And in order to access it and have it, there can be no room in here least to any darkness. Go on, Gio. Let's hear it. Big sigh, good sigh. And we just read a little bit of that Sermon on the Mount. You see what happened? This comes from those words. Go ahead, Gio.
Man,
Preach it. Preach it, preacher.
it's very intense, man. To not have any any darkness, least inside this body. It's like,
How could you have darkness in it? I don't understand. How are you okay with it?
nah, I'm not okay with
why
that.
would you have darkness now? Just get rid of it now. Like, why would you have it anymore? Why would you possibly, feeling what you feel, make another unrighteous move inside? Why? How can you justify it? Like, what makes you think you would is what I'm surprised at. What makes you think that you may actually make a wrong choice now? Do you think you make wrong choices now? In any area of life? What area of life do you think you may make a wrong choice, an evil choice, that you're not sure about? Be honest.
No, I'm listening. Man, that's a really good question. It's a good one. Man, so like, I know, like you said, I know it's like there's no way I can make a wrong choice. It's not possible.
Nope.
And then there's the question you said about, what was the second part?
Well, if you know you can't make a wrong choice, then how can you think you have darkness inside that matters at all anymore? Because it'll start to go away. It will have nothing to feed on. That's why I change every day, and you will too. But it's no longer, they're all evicted,
Yeah.
right? So they're sneaky now. They're hiding in closets in the house, right? They're in the fucking stereo in the house inside. They come through a sound now, but they know they're not supposed to be there because there's an exterminator here. So when the moment they move, they get caught. They get caught with words like addict. They get caught. So you don't have to worry about it once you have the light, but worrying about it prevents the light. Like, how can you possibly think you have darkness in you right now? What do you got? Thoughts and feelings? Are you going to act on them?
No,
you have darkness in
I'm
you?
not gonna act on them, but it's just
So listen, for you, here's how you get rid of those. Later, confess to me. It's gone. Don't do it here. You just have to say what it is so the shame of it comes out. Because it's not you, right? You're not going to act on those, right?
no,
But it's stirring.
yeah.
Then you'll embarrass it later.
I mean, I don't think it's not particularly embarrassing. It's just a weird phenomenon.
Okay, then if it's not embarrassing, what is it? Tell me.
So it's like, so there's this spirit around me that's just it smells like sex, it smells like sex, it tastes like sex, it looks like sex, and it feels like sex.
Right. I know what it is. Go on. I can see it.
Like, and it's anyway, it's very easy to describe it as something good. Like it's like sugar. I can taste it in my mouth. It's like so like I don't want to call it sweet like honey, but you know, those are the
Call it sweet like honey.
Okay. Yeah.
Go ahead.
It's in my mouth. It's like sweet like honey. And yeah, it's just all that. It's like it's very easy to be pulled in, like the word itself.
Pull you in. When you say pulled in, what do you see? As ridiculous as it sounds, What does pulled in look like when he said it? What did you see?
Lips. Red lips. For sure.
It pulls in through red lips. What else? Keep talking about it. Keep talking about this, and I'll show you. Bam, 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 and then it'll be gone. I'm gonna show you where it's catching you.
Okay.
It's red lips. It's sugar, sweet, honey.
Yeah.
Keep all this. This is the curse. Go ahead. It's a hex. Not a curse. It's a hex. It holds your soul with sex. Go ahead. What else can you tell me about this feeling or this thing?
Yeah, it's really, really warm, hot. Like the temperature, like really, yeah. And
Where?
My chest area. On my chest area. And my mouth too. It raises the temperature in there too as well. And there's like yeah, very long tongue. Very long slimy tongue for sure. And it smells. It's a very strong, musty smell to it for sure.
What is it afraid of?
What is it afraid of?
What makes it run and take off? It's called Jesus, just so you know.
Okay.
So now sit there. You see all those images that we just activated? We activated it. It's a little active right now, right? You see that? You see that tongue thing going on? Hold that tongue. Sit there in silence. You call on Jesus to do the work. And just watch what happens. Don't call him with the telephone. Call him as your big brother because you're being bullied. Just tell him to take care of it politely. Okay, ready? Keep going. Listen to me. I'm coaching you. Okay? Now know that God knows what's in your heart and mind about the subject, and it's clean already. Sit there looking at the image. You don't have to look at me with your eyes. Just listen to me. Okay? Know that God knows in your heart and your mind that you're clean on that subject. Know that. Sit there and know that. That you don't have to explain that to him. That you're his son, he knows that. Knowing that, he's going to give you the Holy Spirit to deal with it right now. As a gift from his son, favorite son, Jesus. And the reason why you sit in this room having this conversation is a testament for that. So just know that and sit there and watch that little demon squirm and tell me what happens with it. But you don't do anything. Let the light and the angels now move. You're releasing the contract you made with that demon, sex demon, that you had that body for. This is that. You need to release the contract. But you can't sign off on it because you were too young to sign on to it. Right? So you call dad, he brings whatever, and he can undo anything like that. But he'd have to know your heart and your mind is clean of it. So is it clean of it or not? Do you still would you like to keep that demon for the rest of the life? Yes or no?
No.
All right, for sure?
For sure.
Then why can't you answer if your heart and mind is clean of it? That's what that means.
Because I feel it in the presence.
What does that mean?
Really, it's right next to me. It's right here, like a
I don't
symbiote.
care about it. I'm asking about you. Is your heart and mind clean of that demon? Do you understand how dirty and nasty that activity is? Do you understand how disgusting you were when you did that? You were the filth of the earth, not the salt of the earth. You were the darkness, not the light. Do you see how dirty you were or not when you made a contract with that demon? What?
Looking at it, looking how dirty it is.
How dirty is it? Use some words to describe it now. How dirty it is, and don't hold back.
Really, filthy, perverted.
Going to
And-
filthy, like what? Filthy, like a sewer, and you open your mouth in the sewer because you want some shit in your mouth. How filthy though?
Yeah, it's filthy, like stale green water.
Like what?
Like stale green water.
Like
Yeah, like swamp water.
filthy. What else can you describe it as? It is filthy. That's its tongue is that color.
Rusty skin.
Like what?
Like the old people, like their skin's just flaking off. Yeah.
Frosted flakes come off. Yeah. What else? It's filthy. It's
Long dirty hair, untangled. Really?
you got that thing in you. It's that thing that was looking at women, not you. Now use the name Jesus internally and say, in the name of Jesus and the Holy Spirit, I banish you, and my soul no longer belongs to you. I belong to the Father. Keep doing it, Gio. This is Psalm 94. Lord, O Lord God, to whom vengeance belongeth, O God, to whom vengeance belongeth, show thyself. Lift up thyself, thou judge of the earth, render a reward to the proud. Lord, how long shall the wicked triumph? How long shall they utter and speak hard things? And all the workers of iniquity boast themselves. They break in pieces thy people, O Lord, and afflict thine heritage. They slay the widow and the stranger and murder the fatherless. Yet they say, the Lord shall not see, neither shall the God of Jacob regard it. Understand, ye brutish among the people, and ye fools. When will you be wise? He that planted the ear, shall he not hear? He that formed the eye, shall he not see? He that chastiseth the heathen, shall not he correct? He that teacheth man knowledge, shall not he know? The Lord knoweth the thoughts of man, and they are vanity. Blessed is the man whom thou chastenest, O Lord, and teachest him out of thy law, someone that he holds, that thou mayest give him rest from the days of adversity until the pit be digged for the wicked. For the Lord will not cast off his people, neither will he forsake his inheritance. But judgment shall return unto righteousness, and all the upright in heart shall follow it. Who will rise up for me against the evildoers? Or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity? Unless the Lord had been my help, my soul had almost dwelt in silence. When I said, my foot slippeth, thy mercy, O Lord, held me up. In the multitude of my thoughts, within me, thy comforts delights my soul. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by law? They gather themselves together against the soul of the righteous and condemn the innocent blood. But the Lord is my defense, and my God is the rock of my refuge. And he shall bring upon them their own iniquity, and shall cut them off in their own wickedness. Yeah, the Lord our God shall cut them off. Whenever you're ready, Gio.
I feel more at peace.
How do you feel?
What was going on in there?
The spirit was definitely giving its all, like gripping my body as much as it can.
Wow.
Like literally, it's doing its ultimate best. It's like I could feel literally like another person trying to grip me with it. Like don't do that. Like yeah.
You must be listening, dog.
And then what?
Then it's just internally, I feel a bigger separation compared to a lot more separation.
Yes.
It's there, but it's no.
You no longer have to deal with it now. You got it? The Lord is your defense, and you're free of it now.
Exactly.
You get it? You are free of it now. Yeah, because you don't have to fight it anymore. You see how it's trying to grip?
Yes.
You've been sitting there, dog. Why is it fighting so hard?
That part.
Who's it fighting? You're just chilling. Why is this motherfucker so activated? I don't see no women. Who is it fighting? Why is it gripping, trying to hold on? Look where we are. No women. No women. That's a lustful demon, right?
Yeah.
Why? What's happening? Why is it fighting, doing its best? What's going on, bro? But you're just sitting there. So it's fighting something, right? It's losing, right? It lost already.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So now, because when they do exorcisms, what people don't know is they do it week after week after week after week. Yeah. It's not one time. Nope.
The same person.
Yeah. Look up. Yeah. And they don't even know what they're doing. Seriously. So it doesn't take very long, but you have to know this. This is like Jesus gave his life for you to be free. With him doing that, he bought back all of God's children. That's why you could break the contract. So this activity broke the contract. Now you belong to God. Tell us about that. Tell us how that makes sense for you, because it does.
There was like, man, the last couple of days, I could feel like there's something gripping my eyes. Something was burning. And right here, right now, it's not even there. Like breaking the contrast like that. It's like there's that whatever weight it was there disappeared in this moment. That was in my eyes.
So what do you like, gold or silver? All right, make sure you come out tonight.
Sure.
Man, that is so nice. Hey, join us every day, live reality show. What? You're gonna have to go back and realize that he saw a demon sitting there, and he was describing it perfectly well, and that it's been ruining his life for a while, for a long time. And you have to realize that his eyes have been burning for the last 2 days. That he said that they're not anymore suddenly. You have to realize that what he saw is in you. More than one. And when you see it and you release your soul to Christ, right? So that is a baptism, by the way. When a man is now, I belong to the Father now. See, now you don't have any more earthly mom and dad. Think about them for a second.
It's not like that.
Well, welcome to the kingdom. His mom and dad don't register anymore the same because you belong to the Father. Now we can talk. You get it? Now everything I said is going to make more sense. Isn't that crazy?
It's awesome.
Yeah. You see that thing you fought?
Yeah.
That's your job with me. To get rid of that in them.
Yeah, definitely.
Can you see how they're suffering from that?
Yeah.
Everybody, every man, right? You know that demon, what it does. Yeah, it grips your soul. So that's your job. If you're around me.
No, it makes sense. It's definitely the cross and was go through it for sure.
Mm-hmm.
On different levels.
So what's it feel like to know who your real father is now?
The words.
It feels like he's always been there.
Exactly.
Always been.
Because the moment you called on him, there you go. And there's proof of what we said earlier. What's it feel like, Jaime, seeing that? You want that? Right? That's all we ever wanted. Otherwise, you and I would not sit in Vegas doing this. You get it? We wanted that over everything, so we give up our lives. And everybody thought we were picking up chicks. Yeah, we're going to be picking you chicks up from hell. We are picking up chicks. We've never changed it. Yeah, we are learning game. We're giving you a real game to play. The one that God wrote for us, man over woman, man to Christ, that. We're playing that game. This is what we're doing here. We are men going out there playing a game of picking up women. And we're doing it in accordance to this book. Okay? And I can show you my life and it makes sense in that book. So yeah, we're still picking up women. We're playing a game. We also, to do that, we create characters that women are attracted to. But this one, the role is given by our Father. So get ready, because he's a way better author than I was. Right? If you thought we were good then, watch out, chicks. We're coming for y'all. The hottest of y'all. To pick you up and teach you a game. Get it? And romance you and all that shit. Okay? This is the greatest romantic novel ever. Talk about romance, read that. Ooh. Shh. But you won't find any sex in it, which is interesting. So romance is not sex. Sex is a hex, and that's what it looks like. That is what's having sex in everybody. He just showed you it because what's Geo's symbol? The eye. Because you can see it. See that? He described it with detail. So when you're having sex, unless you're having a righteous seed or with a righteous man, that's what's having sex in you. And that's why it feels like that. It feels like that, just so you know. It's awesome. That's disgusting, right? That's some trashy shit. Okay, do you see that demon? Okay, now think about the strip club. And you'll see it everywhere. You'll even see its tongue movement. You'll see its movement. You see how it grips. It's the same one, man. Why? Because you were a powerful black magician. I said that, you and Zothis. So you were actually able to conjure some shit because you had the light of the Father. Like you said, he's always been there. And that's what the devil does. He steals the best. Right? Because he's jealous. He's jealous. So you know what the Father did in this group? He hid everybody. And if then now look at your entire life, you would see that there was a father hiding his son in hell and training him for the role that you're supposed to play with me. That was all. Now all that nasty shit he did was actually training to defeat that demon. You know everything you need to know about it.
Sure.
And you're the only one that could really conjure that thing. Right? Your whole life should suddenly seem like a perfect novel of a hero or a child of God, the boy who became a God. Right? Like everything, every bad decision you made, think about something you should be ashamed of. Anything comes up, just anything. You don't have to tell me. Tell me when you thought about it.
Okay.
Okay. You see that experience?
Yeah.
Listen, that experience was hiding you. You look like one of his children on the other side. If you were righteous during that moment, something else would have happened in your life and you wouldn't be here.
Sure.
See that? So because every bad experience I had, I was still righteous in it. Even that thing you did that you were ashamed or whatever the fuck it was, you still kept righteousness to the end, right? You didn't go all the way in it. You never went all the way back. You went to the edge and pulled back. That would be the Father pulling you back. Enough, son.
Exactly. That's exactly what it felt like, yeah.
So that means you never did one wrong thing in your life. Like for real. See that? You'll never think about the next thing you do. Because it would be impossible to be that right to be here right now and have this conversation. You and I could have never planned this conversation, bro. You know how crazy this is? Remember the first time you saw me on YouTube?
Real, yeah. What are we doing, bro?
But then why are you so free right now and so am I? It's like a fairy tale. Whatever they're getting online, they're getting. But you and I know they'll never get what we're experiencing right now here. Like it must be so magical to see it on that side, but it's a miracle to be here.
Really is.
Yeah, it's a magical to you because you're going to have to figure out all the pieces that made this happen. You saw it. So you saw the magic trick and it was amazing. But here it wasn't a magic trick. It was a miracle. And that would be like that magician that you saw like walk through the wall, through the mirrors and the fog and the double people they have. That's how they do it. Suddenly, somebody walked through the wall. That would be a miracle versus magic, right? And the difference was the one that walked through the wall as a magician spent hours and hours and hours to create the illusion where suddenly one who never did magic walked through the wall suddenly. That's the difference. You and I went to the edge of darkness, but never did it. That's why we're here. And I know about my life, I was hidden. And I'm still hidden. And so are you. And that's why we look like this, all of us. You're supposed to be hidden if you're in this group. Why? Because we just read it again, synchronicity. I'm going through it, see what holds my attention. And that one does. As I start reading it, I know the difference between revelation and thought. As I'm reading it, the revelation comes. Stop reading to yourself. Start speaking out loud. This is right. But the grip here is read a little bit more just to make sure, because he's deep in it and you're about to interrupt. Right here, my mouth goes back and I start reading, I tell you. And it was exactly right. Right? But who is going to do this work for me and fight this wickedness? Chosen two. Get it? The chosen two were the ones in my storyline that were hid inside their own lives. But they never went all the way. And so they kept searching and searching, searching, so that when they saw the light, boom, they knew. You can no longer be fooled into any kind of sex magic. Nobody could convince you it's right.
Oh, sure.
No reward in it. Do you get that?
Yeah, I do.
That's a righteous heart about that subject. Thus, you are who you are to me here, and you're going to have to go do that. You get it? You just, there's no contract that could be given to you in regards to any sexual experience on earth you would take right now.
Oh, no, doesn't mean no. Doesn't compare.
At all. Isn't that amazing? You're free of that hex. There's no contract any woman could put in front of you that you would become unrighteous to have sex with her for. Yeah, am I right?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
So that means the next time you're in a strip club, you actually don't have to think about what you do. If you want to smack her ass, do it. Because if it went too far, the Father would correct you. You would know. And he would correct you with a quick, that's wrong. And then you would immediately confess, hey, my apologies. Sometimes the devil gets a hold of me in fucked up places like this. I'm going to buy 3 dances from you whenever you want. You'll get corrected. And then what would have been a oops, which is a demon, it's the sound of a demon. It's like a fart. Oops. What would have been a oops is hell yeah. And you take the word hell away from him. Hell yeah. Every time. Okay. His name is Saint. I don't know if that's his name. Saint John, maybe. He was a exorcist for the Catholic Church. Saint John? Okay, just hold that for a second. Saint John was known as being very fearless. I love that. Oh, it just speaks to my soul, right? I love fearless men. Fuck. And Saint John, there's a story about him that I think you would love right now, Gio. There's two, let me see. There's 2 stories about him, right? He was just known to be so fearless. And the monks that, you remember the retreat we went to? Yeah. Now I know all about that place. If we were in San Jose, we'd be there next week. It's a whole different place, and we all knew it. Look at where we ended up. Damn. We all ended up there. Fuck. Anyways. You all knew it was hella haunted, right? You all knew laying in that bed that there was demons right here. Did you know that? Did anybody experience that? You know, when you were in the shower, they were like here. You know, everywhere in your fucking little room when you sat down to close your eyes, or at night when you went to sleep, it was like, this place is fucking. Oh my God, you caught it on fire. You were the one that caught it on fire. Really, though? That makes total sense. Because no one saw it. Right? Oh man, you see, it was good, but it's so much better when you know what the plan was. And we knew it was better than whatever it was somehow. That's trippy. We that went to this thing all knew it was much greater than what was happening. And we couldn't explain it. So John was like, I just want to go back there.
I did go back there
Yeah.
multiple times.
I was like, Oracle, we need to make our own place here. We need one of these places. I know exactly why. That's where ideally we would be living. Exactly in a place like that. You get it? Oh. Filled with darkness. It's like a demon's lair over there. I'm walking through the fucking place. I'm like, this is some horrific shit, right? I really like that. They have like statues of like baby Jesus getting stabbed, and like, I'm like, this is part of the religion. This is nuts, right? As I'm walking through the gardens, I have to like somehow do something internally just to walk into a certain place. Like, it was so cool. Anyways, St. John, if I'm right, St. John is 2 stories, Gio, and we can end it with that, and then we can talk after this. Check this out. The monks that lived with him, because he was one of the main guys, right? They would say at night they could hear hooves. And almost like wrestling, tussling up there. They would hear shrieks, the ones that lived with him, right? And he just never seemed to be afraid of anything. So one day, according to him, now, this language is real to me, as you see, and you just saw. So we're going to stay in that language. This is a testament of these guys. One night, he comes out to maybe get a Kit Kat or something. I don't know. He goes, in the middle of the night, he goes to the kitchen to get something, and there's 2 chairs, and they say that if you go to his place now, these 2 chairs are still there. He had 2 chairs facing each other in his living room. And they say when he walks up, they say the devil, it wouldn't be the devil, it would be a demon. He sees a demon sitting there, a high-level demon, right? And he says to the demon, oh, hey, you're here. He goes, opens the fridge. The demon gets up and says, you're not afraid of me. He goes, you are afraid of me. I'm baptized to the Father. You're afraid of me. And he goes back in his room and goes to sleep. The second story is that he's sleeping and a demon jumps on his bed. And he wakes up and turns around and there's a demon there. And he says, oh, you. Like, oh, it's you. And he goes back and sleeps. So one of his top disciples is like, how are you not afraid of him? He says, this demon has visited me so many times in my life that we're actually really good friends with each other now. He's one of my best friends, right? He had no fear, and he was like a fearless guy. And so that's how you have to now live. Are you ready? Ready? In regards to sex, especially, because that's what's hexing you. You got to look at sex like that demon sitting in the chair. Every time it shows, oh, it's you again? Every time it shows up. All right, you again? Yeah? Yeah.
Hey.
All right, wait. Hold on. Yes. Thank you for coming. See you. Bye. Let's end.